59-year-old Charlie Hayes is suing his daughter, 37-year-old Carolanda Hayes, for money she took from a bank account set up by her grandmother.
Order, all rise. Judges, number 275 on the calendar in the matter of Hayes versus Hayes. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
I must tell you both that there is nothing sadder for a judge than seeing a family torn apart by money.
I totally agree.
Mr. Hayes, this is your daughter.
That's correct.
And as I understand this complaint, your mother, who is still alive, is that correct?
That's correct.
How old is she?
94.
Where does she live?
She lives with me.
How long has she lived with you?
She's been living with me almost 6 months now.
Where did she live before that?
She lived at 137 Baker Apartment 1.
And she moved in with you, why, sir?
Because she's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
Now, you have power of attorney over all your mother's property, recently acquired, is that right?
That's correct.
According to your complaint, your mother, during her lifetime, set up different CDs and bank accounts for her children and her grandchildren. You're one of the grandchildren.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, your daughter went to the bank and took out a loan against the CD that was in your mother's name in trust for her.
That's correct.
Is that right?
That's correct.
And she did so without your knowledge as the person with power of attorney over your mother's affairs. Why did you do that?
I went to the bank under my grandmother's consent. She told me to go get the interest that was on the CD.
When did your grandmother tell you that?
She told me, she's always telling me that, Carolanda, to help you and the kids, go get the interest on your CD, go get the interest on your CD. And I was like, no, because the interest was only $500. I was like, the $500 is not going to help me, Nan. She said, go to the bank and get your interest off your CD.
Okay.
So when I went to the bank,
When? Let her finish, sir.
when I went to the bank, the Great Western representative told me that you could take out a loan against your CD. You don't have to take out the interest. You can just go ahead and take out a loan for 90%.
90% of what was in the account.
Exactly.
And how much was in the account altogether?
Well, the original CD was for $10,000.
Okay. When you say the original CD, had it grown?
There was interest on it from Bayview Federal, where it was. It had grown to, my grandmother had left the interest in there, I guess, a couple of times, and it was $10,900.
It was $10,900 when you took out this loan against it?
No, ma'am. It was only $8,000 by the time I got there to the bank.
It was $8,000. Now, how did the account read? What's your grandmother's name?
Nancy.
Nancy what?
Buckner.
Nancy Buckner in trust for?
No, it read Nancy Buckner, Carolanda Hayes, power of attorney Charles Hayes. Because by
Can I see the way the account is written, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were told that you could take out a loan.
Right, for 90% of the CD.
Okay. And you did?
I didn't take out 90. I only took out 50.
So you took out $4,000?
Yes.
And you had to pay back the interest?
Exactly.
Did you do that?
No, because they told me that no payment was needed to be made until June, a year later. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to make any payment throughout the year. I could pay $20, $10, or zero until the next year.
Well, Mr. Hayes, this says that this account is in your name, Nancy Edwards, and Carolanda Hayes. That's her.
That's correct.
This isn't an in trust for account.
No, ma'am.
It was in trust until I moved it. It wasn't in Great Western.
I don't care where it was. Listen to me. This has 3 names on this account.
I realize that. Yeah.
That means anybody can do whatever they want with this bit of money.
I have.
You understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So you're suing her your daughter.
That's correct.
I'm going to find out why in a second, Mr. Hayes.
Because he's greedy.
For $4,497, which is, I assume, $4,000 that she took out, and the other $400 for some sort of interest. Is that right?
No.
What?
It's for credit card that she took out in my mother's name in Nordstrom's that she didn't pay.
I don't have that in the...
I have it here, Your Honor.
I don't care what you have there. I don't have it in your complaint, sir.
And I didn't know about this credit card.
You don't have to address the credit card. It's not in his complaint.
Okay.
It's not in his complaint. It's not here, period.
Okay.
Okay. So, Mr. Hayes.
Yes.
She took out $4,000, therefore you're suing her for $4,000. She can take out that money if she wants to.
Yeah, I understand that.
So why are you suing her?
I'm suing her because she didn't pay for it. She made no efforts to pay for it. Can I explain to you how this led up to this?
Sure.
She started off from the day that she graduated. My mother bought her a new car to graduate. From there, she went on to college. A couple of years later, she wanted to get married. She came home. My mother and I paid for her wedding. Came a little over $12,000. After her wedding, she moved on. After she moved on, a couple of years later, she wanted a divorce. She got a divorce. She moved on to Atlanta. In Atlanta, she got in a little trouble. She wanted to come home. She borrowed $3,200 to come home. She said she would pay for that.
Borrowed from whom?
From my mother. Then once she got here, she didn't have any money, so she needed a place to stay. So she borrowed another $1,600.
From whom?
From my mother.
When you say she... Mr. Hayes.
Yes.
When you say she borrowed the money, were you there when she spoke to her grandmother?
No.
No, I wasn't there, but by me being power of attorney, my mother explained this to me.
Just a second. When did your daughter take this money from your mother? How long ago?
That's been about 5 years ago.
And when were you appointed power of attorney?
1993.
So this all happened before you were appointed
Yes.
as power of attorney. So let me explain something to you, sir. I assume that you were given power of attorney over your mother's money because you say that she suffers from Alzheimer's. She can't take care of her affairs. Is that right?
Not only that, as that I'm the eldest. And
doesn't make any difference. Eldest. So she gave, with no notes, I assume.
No notes. This was
her
just
granddaughter money.
Correct. That's correct.
Good. That's what grandmothers do with their grandchildren.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He wants all the money. He wants to take everyone's money, and he doesn't want to see us with anything. He wants to remodel his home, buy his Harley Davidson, his boats, and everything else.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Charlie Hayes is suing his daughter, Carolanda, because she took money from a bank account set up by her grandmother. Carolanda says the account was opened for her benefit and the money was rightfully hers.
Go ahead. So tell me some more. So she got into trouble. She came back. It's another $1,600. Go ahead.
Would you tell her to quit saying words to me?
I don't want you to speak to him.
Yes, ma'am.
If you're speaking to him, I don't want you to speak to him.
I'm not speaking to him.
Good. Go.
Okay, now my mother calls me. She says, I want you to go and give Carolanda the interest off her CD. So instead of making it, just getting the interest off of it, I went and put it into Great Western. It was in Bayview Federal. I put it into Great Western. So then I called her and told her to go down, put your Social Security number on it so that you can get the interest from now on. Therefore, I will put your name on the CD. Her name wasn't on the CD.
That's a lie.
Shh.
Her,
Hey.
He's not telling the truth.
Well, show me.
He put...
Show me. Show me that your name was on the CD.
Oh, it was on the
Show
CD.
me. That's what I want to see. Show me.
I'm saying he's lying
Show me.
about the reason why he put my name in the CD.
Show me. Before I went to Great Western, what bank was it in?
Bayview Federal.
Show me Bayview Federal. This doesn't show me anything.
Okay.
would you tell her also, Your Honor, do not call me a liar?
Shh. Listen. I didn't hear that she called you a liar, sir. If she called you anything, she's not supposed to speak out in court unless I speak to her.
Thank you.
Right now, I'm not speaking to her. I'm not looking at her.
Thank you. So anyway, I went in to take care of some banking business at Great Western, and the bank agents told me that there's no payments been made on this loan, and there's no interest been paid on it, and within the next 6 months, we're phasing out this type of loan because the bank isn't making any money on it. So I said, okay, I'll get in touch with my daughter. I called my daughter, and I asked her, I said, what are you going to do about this? She says, I don't have any money. I'm not going to pay it. sue me. That's where we are today.
Okay. And your defense is that you didn't have to pay this money back according to the loan agreement by the bank for another few months,
No.
and therefore you were not in default.
Right.
There were a couple... Go ahead.
But he's lying. He did not call me and say that the CD was about to expire and that I better pay the interest on it or whatever. And I don't know what he did, but he closed everyone's CD. No one, all the grandchildren's, my aunts, everyone, every CD is gone.
How much money does your mother have in her estate, Mr. Hayes?
At the time that when she's speaking...
Now, how much money does your mother have in her estate?
She has $40,000.
And this time last year, how much money did your mother have?
Close to $80,000.
And the $40,000 was spent how, sir?
It was, she's speaking of the other loan, is because her brother took a loan out at the same time, this type of loan.
Against?
And then I had to close both of them because the bank was closing out that type of loan.
Does your mother get Social Security, sir?
Yes, she does.
And she gets Medicaid that takes care of her medical expenses?
That's correct.
And she owns an apartment building with 12 units, and each apartment building roughly about $500 on each building.
How many brothers and sisters do you have, sir?
I have one sister.
Okay. So I would assume that with the exception of these CDs that she had for grandchildren, how many grandchildren are there?
There was 5 of us.
That most of your mother's assets, when she passes, are going to go to you and your sister. Is that right?
No.
Yes, that's correct. Sorry.
Talking to him?
No, it goes to me. I am the trustee of the account. All of her assets goes to me.
What about your sister?
My sister gets 25% of the net gross of the building of the money after all bills are paid.
When did your mother make a will?
My mother made a will in 1993, and then she revised it in 1995.
Okay. All right. Now, let me deal with your countersuit, Ms. Hayes.
Yes, ma'am.
You are countersuing your father because you say that he has misappropriated your grandmother's money.
That's correct.
Okay. Nobody made you the monitor of your grandmother's money.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm dismissing your counterclaim. Whether someone is violating their fiduciary relationship, and your father has what we call in the trade a fiduciary relationship with his mother, is something that is going to be dealt with at some point in surrogates court or a court where they handle estates. A judge in the surrogates court will also determine whether his mother, who he has acknowledged suffers from Alzheimer's, was able to revise a will in 1995, had the mental capacity to revise a will, and I would assume that your aunt, who is his sister, as well as whatever grandchildren there are who might have been mentioned in a prior will contest that will once it's filed and make a determination as to whether or not there has been another breach of fiduciary.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You just told me that your mother, who's 94, moved in with you because she can't take care of herself because she suffers from Alzheimer's, sir. Stop giving me a lot of baloney.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Charlie Hayes and his daughter Carolanda are in court fighting over money left in a bank account by Carolanda's grandmother. Charlie claims his daughter had no right to withdraw the money.
Let me turn now to this issue before me. What is that, Mr. Hayes?
This is the contract that she stated she signed with the bank.
That's right here.
That she would return the money.
Yes.
Yeah, fine. Okay. Now, if she did not return this money, all that they were going to do is withdraw it.
That's correct.
From the CD.
That's correct.
Now, according to your papers, sir, this CD was originally in your mother's name and trust for her.
That's correct.
Your name was not on it at all, as your mother had CDs for all the grandchildren.
She tried.
What you did, sir, was add your name, according to this, to each one of the CDs.
Only that one, Your Honor.
Why only this one?
Because I wanted to make sure that she paid it back, and if she went to the bank to get any money, I wanted them to notify me.
Well, but you know, what you've done here, sir, is you have added your name as a partner in this CD. Your mother really had no intention of making you a partner in this CD.
She knew about that.
Don't tell me what she knows. She knows nothing now. She's lucky
That's
for her
now.
that she knows. She knew nothing about what you did here, sir, because she had no intention of making you a third partner in this CD.
I took it to her and told her about this, Your Honor.
You just told me that your mother, who's 94, moved in with you because she can't take care of herself because she suffers from Alzheimer's, sir. Stop giving me a lot of baloney.
No, I'm not.
One of the things that I'm saying to you is I'm distressed. I'm distressed because I don't understand why you as a parent, and your daughter has probably cost you a lot of money over the years.
Of
Or it
course.
cost your grandmother, your mother a lot of money. She's probably made some mistakes, and she has been indulged by an indulgent grandmother when she's run into financial difficulty. But what we're talking about is a father suing his daughter for money that really isn't even yours.
I don't want the money.
Well, what I'm asking you, Mr. Hayes, is why bring your daughter to court over this money, which is not... The truth of the matter is she could have taken out more. It wouldn't have been the right thing. But she could have taken out more than 50% of the money. She didn't. And I assume you have a couple of children?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a husband?
No, ma'am.
You work?
Yes.
What do you do?
Import and export.
How much do you earn?
$40,000 a year.
So you earn a reasonable living?
Yes, I do. And rent is outrageous. And 2 kids and child care. And I'm barely
Where are the father of these 2 children? Well, that's a smile. A smile isn't an answer.
One's in Louisiana, the other one, they take care of their children, but I'm just saying that it's difficult to raise 2 kids by yourself.
Okay. Listen, there comes a point when your family's going to stop bailing you out.
I have...
Your grandmother bailed you out. She gave you money before?
Yes.
She gave you money for $3,000, $1,600 or whatever.
But 2 of them were gifts. I
I'm not
graduated
even
with honors from school.
I'm not suggesting that the $3,000 and the $1,600 weren't gifts by a grandmother. Say, yeah, take the money. If you can pay back, fine. If you can't, fine. Sir, it was your mother's intention that this young lady have this money.
Up on her desk.
That's her intention.
That's correct.
That's her intention.
That's correct. I would like for her to have it up on her desk. I love my daughter. I don't want to...
Who are you?
Your Honor, I'm her mother.
What do you have to add to this?
I have to add that I've also helped her and my son.
I don't need that information. It's irrelevant whether you help them. Listen to me.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's irrelevant that you help them. You're supposed to help them. You're her mother.
Oh, yes, and I will. Until the
Good.
day I die.
Nice. Sit down.
But that's not just it. I mean, she can contest that my father, he just abuses funds. He just goes
I'm not interested in that. Nobody made you your grandmother's money monitor. If you believe that your father is abusing his fiduciary relationship to his mother, go to court and seek to be appointed her guardian because he's abusing it, and then a judge will hear you, and we will move on. But you cannot, madam, countersue for that.
I wouldn't bring my father to court.
So, well, you countersued, and I dismissed the countersuit because you have no basis for a countersuit unless you are the guardian of your grandmother.
What he's doing is just totally wrong.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Mr. Hayes, under the law,
Yes,
your daughter did exactly what she had a right to do by taking out this loan.
What about...
Under the law, she doesn't even have to pay it back because the account is in her name. And if she chooses to, she can let the loan default, and she can let the CD be reduced by the amount of the loan. That is her right because her name is on this account. Do you understand, sir?
That's my call.
Case dismissed.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next, 39-year-old Philadelphia transit worker Vanessa Coleman says a man she used to date, Theodore Smith, stole her car for 2 days, then returned it damaged. Mr. Smith claims he had Vanessa's permission to take the car and is not responsible for the damage to the vehicle.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom. All rise. Judge, it's number 220 on the calendar, the matter of Coleman versus Smith. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
All right, Miss Coleman, you say that Mr. Smith stole your car.
Yes.
He said he borrowed it with your permission. In any event, the car, something happened to it. It was damaged. You want to get paid.
Yes.
So first, let's start on the 27th of June, which is when this whole thing came down, I understand. He took the keys from your house.
Yes.
Tell me how that happened.
I had got home from work early this day, and the maintenance man, name is Derek, asked me if I could run him and Mr. Smith up to cash their check.
He was a neighbor of yours?
Yes, he's a neighbor. And so I did this and came back home, and I knew I was going out that evening, so I came in to change, to get ready. So while I was in the house changing, Mr. Smith rang my bell. I asked who it was, and it was him. He responded, so I went to the door and let him in. So we were down there talking, and I noticed that I have a countertop in my living room that the keys were laying there. So I went back upstairs and told him that I was getting ready to go out that evening. I left him downstairs. So anyway, as I got ready to come back down to leave, I noticed that my keys weren't on the counter anymore. So I figured, well, maybe I took them back upstairs. And I went back upstairs, and I didn't see the keys up there either. And I checked all in my pocketbook, and I couldn't find my keys.
Didn't find the keys? So did you call the police?
I called the police that evening because I waited to see maybe he would bring the car back. So I waited and waited, and I did finally call the police and report the car stolen that evening.
Now, that was June 27th.
June 27th.
When did you get the car back?
My niece found the car June 29th, which was a Sunday.
And what was the condition of the car when it was found?
Trying to move the car wouldn't move.
Okay, so it was damaged.
So it was damaged.
Well, he acknowledges that the car was damaged while you were driving it, sir. Now, why don't you tell me your version of how you got possession of these keys?
Ms. Coleman and I, we live 2 doors apart from each other.
Had you been friends before this happened?
Yes, we were. Yes, we were. We were also seeing each other.
No,
and
we weren't,
probably starting what I would call the start of a relationship.
What do you mean?
She and I had spent time in each other's house a couple of times, having dinner, ice cream, these sort of things.
That's nice.
I've used the car before, and I've driven a car and brought it back.
With her permission?
With her permission. I had asked her, could I use the car to make an errand to my mother's house? My mother lives in walking distance, 10 minutes, and driving, it's 2 minutes. The car was parked 4 blocks away from my mother's house.
Just a second. You asked her, if, according to you, you asked her if you could ride to an errand to your mother's house.
Yes, I did.
You didn't tell me what she said.
She said yes. She gave me the keys, which was a full set of keys. At that time...
And you intended to be back in...
In moments, because
moments.
She had told me she...
You intended to be back in moments, and you knew she was going out.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
She gave me the keys. Her and the landlord were standing on the pavement, talking, as I got into the car and exited the block. About 5 minutes into the journey after the car, I stopped at the intersection. I tried to engage the shifter to go on. The car wouldn't move. It didn't
All right,
respond.
you knew at that point, to make a long story a little shorter, you knew at that point that there was something wrong with the car.
Yes.
What did you do then?
I had a friend who was with me.
Which friend was with you?
A gentleman I picked up.
Just a second. A gentleman you picked up where?
This was on the block of my mother's house. The
Who
street
was
where
that?
my mother lived at.
Who was that?
Was a gentleman named Boo.
Boo.
Right.
Does Boo have a last name?
Boo Rogers, yes he does.
What'd you pick up Boo for?
He was going in the same direction I was coming back. So I was giving him a lift.
So what you're saying to me was you had already been at your mother's house.
Yes.
So you did the errand at your mother's
Yes,
house
I did.
already. You sure about that?
Yes.
Go ahead. And you're on your way back with Boo in the car.
Right.
Go ahead.
The car broke down at the intersection. We both got out. We pushed the car. At that time, I'm not knowing too much about cars. I asked him. He didn't know too much about cars. So I went to a payphone. I called a friend who did know about cars. He came and checked the car out. He told me, Mike...
Why didn't you call her?
Well, at that particular time, I wanted to see what was wrong with the car.
Now listen, Mr. Smith, let's talk logic here, sir. You said you were going to be back in 2 minutes. You knew she was going out. Now you're out for well beyond 2 minutes. You pick up Boo. Then you call one friend. The person that you don't call is the person whose car it is, who has to go out, and you know that she was going out. So I don't understand why you didn't pick up the phone and say, I'm going to try to fix the car. I'm having some trouble with it.
I agree with you.
Good. I'm glad you do. It makes me feel better. Go ahead.
Thank you. So the gentleman came, we looked at the car, and he told me that the clutch was dry. It needed hydraulic clutch fluid.
Okay, so then what did you do?
Well, we tried
Now we're looking for fluid.
Right.
We got boo and we got fluid.
Exactly. I tried to get the fluid.
How did you try to get the fluid, sir?
We went to an auto supply store.
And how far away from where the car was?
It was a
that?
distance.
About how far, sir?
10-minute ride.
How'd you get there?
In his car. The gentleman who came to look at the car, who was a
Just a
mechanic.
minute. Let me understand this. All this time you haven't called her yet?
No, I haven't.
Keep going.
That was it.
And so what'd you do?
Upon not getting the car started, again, I did not call her. I went home. I tried to contact her then.
How did you try to contact her?
By calling her on the phone.
And what happened?
I got no answer.
Chuck! I'm having too good a time with this, please. So you tried to contact her, you called her, and there was no answer.
Exactly.
So I assume you wrote out a note.
No, I did not.
Because you're right next
No,
door.
I
You
did
wrote
not.
out a note and you say, don't worry about your car, it broke down, here's where it's located. You went and tacked it on a door.
No, I did not.
No, you did not.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The reason why I sued him for that because,
To teach him a lesson.
yes,
And later today,
So you made trouble between her and her son. You were a pig about the money that you won. You really are nasty.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 39-year-old Vanessa Coleman says Theodore Smith stole her car and returned it 2 days later with extensive damages. Theodore says Vanessa gave him permission to take the car and denies any responsibility for the damage.
It's not really urgently important, Miss Coleman. Listen to me. It's not urgently important whether he drove the car with or without your permission. He's responsible for the damage to your car. Now, I don't think he can look me in the eye and deny that, right, sir?
I agree with you.
Right. So, did you have the car fixed?
oh yes.
Let me see the repair bill. When did you
Never.
finally tell her where the car was?
Never.
I didn't. The car was recovered Sunday morning. I woke up, came out, the car was in front of her house.
Weren't you curious as to how she found it?
Not really. No. No.
I don't understand these bills, Miss Coleman.
Okay,
Let's understand.
I don't
little
understand them either,
the short bill is the actual estimate that all the damages that I had done to the car. The other estimate is just for the damage that he did, which was to the clutch and the shifter.
Well, $460. Is that what you paid for the damage that
I
he
paid
did?
$945.
Yeah,
I
but
paid
you
for
know,
all
you're
the
not talking about a
damages.
wheel alignment and front brakes.
See, I didn't
and outer
charge him.
seats.
I didn't charge him for that. I just charged him for the clutch and the shifter.
But she
Yes.
sued me for
But-
$945.
Just a second.
And the reason why I sued him for that because
To teach him a lesson.
yes, he denied. He denied to pay me
Well-
anything except for the $60
well
he gave me.
learned.
Miss,
you.
he gave you $60?
He gave me $60.
What'd you give her $60 for, sir?
The first day that this had happened and she told me she was putting the car in the shop,
Yeah.
I said, okay, I'm going to give you some money to start on. This is initial payment. Give me a receipt and I'll pay the rest gladly.
Right.
She never gave me a receipt. She refused to give me a receipt. This happened
All
on...
right. Got it. Listen, Miss Coleman. He has to pay for the damage he did on the car. If I could
Thank you.
add on a couple of bucks for bad manners, you know, I would do that. But that's not what we're about.
Yes.
He's got to pay for the damage he did to the car, $460.
Yes.
And I would suggest to you, if you ever made a loan to him of your car or anything else that you value.
Never again.
What?
Never.
Right.
You know it.
Thank you very much. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
I'll be back to you right.
Thank you.
And now the next case.
Parties on Travis versus Hood. Step forward, please.
Avid bingo player, 57-year-old Fanny Travis, is suing her son's girlfriend, Betty Hood, claiming they made a deal to split a $10,000 bingo jackpot if either of them won. Betty denies they had any agreement.
Miss Travis, you are an avid bingo player.
Yes, I am.
And the defendant used to be your friend.
My son's girlfriend.
According to your complaint, you were playing bingo one night back in August.
Yeah.
And you played together, you and the defendant, and your daughter.
My daughter.
And a couple of other people.
Not the one, not her. She's not here.
Another daughter.
Another daughter.
And then there was advertised a super bingo party for September.
Yes.
And you had to buy packs of $50 worth of bingo cards.
That's right.
So you say you bought packs of cards to several people, including the defendant.
That's right.
And it was your agreement with her that what?
If anybody won, I would get half of the winning.
And then she won.
She won.
$10,000.
Right.
Bingo. She gave you $1,000.
Right.
And said, I'm not giving you any more.
No, she never said that.
What did she say?
The people at the bingo was going to count me the $5,000. You only get $5,000 that night. The next $5,000 we had to come back that Monday. It was on a Saturday night. So they was finna give me the money because the bingo staff knew I had bought all the cards. I told them to count it to her. At the time, they counted out $1,000. She gave me the $1,000, and they gave me the slip and told me to come back Monday and pick up the rest of the money. And in the car, I gave her the slip and told her to wait. Monday, I'll go with you, and I want the rest of my money.
All right, you gave her the slip.
And told her in the car, I gave her the slip and told her I would go with her Monday and pick up the rest of my money.
Okay, so you said, I'll go with you Monday.
And pick up the rest of the money.
Okay, and what happened?
She dodged me all day Monday. I was at bingo waiting on her. She went out late Monday night. Had my grandkids tell me that Dad and Betty told us not to tell you that they gone to bingo. So she went out and picked up the money. When I got my son Monday night on the phone, he made a statement, you made a $1,000 profit off of her. I said that was not the agreement. She made a $9,000 profit off of me because we were supposed to split. So that I finally got her Tuesday night and asked her for my money. She said, I spent it. And I said, no, I want my money. You knew it wasn't all yours to spend. Then I called my son. He came up the next day, which was a Tuesday. I went and filed a claim on her. Then my son came up to the house the first time in his 33-year-old life, cursed me like a dog, saying that if I go through with it, he wasn't going to be my son no more.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're not a very nice young lady. She didn't know you would think. Who are you to her? Nobody.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Fanny Travis says she made a deal with Betty Hood that they would split a $10,000 bingo jackpot if either of them won. Betty denies they had any such arrangement and feels she was being generous by giving Fanny $1,000 of her winnings.
Before she got the bingo cards, according to you and according to your daughter, you told her that if you win, half is mine.
Yes.
Is that correct? Before she had the cards in her possession.
Correct.
Okay. Betty, let's hear your version of this.
When she won that $2,500 that night, she was giving me and her daughter $100. And she said out that 100, that 50 go for that package. I did not hear no split winning. And now she's saying for that when I won the $10,000 that they gave her the receipt, they did not give her the receipt. I signed for that receipt that night. That's the only way that money came to me. I had the receipt in my belongings.
Well, my question is, you say that the previous month she won some money.
Yes.
And very generously gave you $100. only gave you 50 in cash and then bought the other packet for the other 50.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Did that happen?
No.
Yes.
I only gave her 50. She didn't even know I was buying these packs. She never knew I was buying these packs until 3 weeks later.
That's very generous of you to give him anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't have to give him anything. Why did you give her $1,000?
Just being generous.
You had a conversation with the plaintiff that night, the night that you won the $10,000, correct?
Correct.
And she made it clear to you,
No,
after
she-
you won, let's
No.
not say before, after you won, that she expected half of your winnings. Is that right?
Correct.
Did you say to her that night, I'm not going to give you half the winnings?
No, I said you must be joking.
No. Let me ask you this question, Ms. Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Does this sound familiar? That when you were leaving that night, and she said to you that should anybody win with cards that she bought, there would be a 50-50 split. And you said, we ain't going to win no way anyway. Does that sound familiar to you?
I say that all the time.
I asked you on that night, did that sound familiar to you?
Okay, what was the question again?
You said, we ain't going to win no way anyway.
Right.
Isn't that what you said?
Right.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
You're not a very nice young lady, Miss Hood. First of all, you've made trouble between this lady and her son.
No, I did not.
Oh, sure you did. Oh, sure you did. First of all, just by being there that night, by breathing that night in September, you were coming away $5,000 richer. You didn't make an investment. You didn't buy the cards. You didn't plan the evening. Nothing. She gave it to you. And she was generous to you at other times, too. She didn't owe you a thing, except that you're the mother of at least one of her grandchildren. So she was being nice to you, and I assume she's a generous lady anyway. So you made trouble between her and her son. You were a pig about the money that you won. Absolutely did the wrong thing. And Miss Hood, life has a strange way of coming up and biting you in the back if you do the wrong thing. What you did over money, by destroying this little family, she had a son who she never had a harsh word with. And I assume she did other things. She ever babysit for you?
Yes.
You had to run to the doctor or something? Had to run someplace else? She took care of your son? Yes?
Yes.
You really are nasty. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff for the amount of $4,000. You already got your $1,000? $4,000. That's all.
Party's ice cream. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next...
Party's on Hayes versus Hayes. Step forward, please.
62-year-old Betty McKenzie says 72-year-old Lonnie Cooper knocked her to the floor while she was in line at her bank. Lonnie says it was Betty who did the shoving.
So you two people are online in a bank. You never saw each other before, is that right?
That's right.
You say this nice gentleman over here assaulted you. He says that you assaulted him. I can hardly believe that, looking at the two of you. So, Miss McKenzie, let me hear your version of what happened at this bank.
Okay. He was on my right.
You're online.
Yes, I'm in the line. He was on the right.
What was he doing on the right?
He was at a teller.
He was at the teller.
He was at the teller.
So he was in front of you and to the right.
That's right. I was getting ready, the man was getting ready to come out the teller on my left. The man dropped a piece of paper.
Which man dropped a piece of paper?
The man that was coming out the teller on my left.
So what happened?
I told him he dropped a piece of paper. He said, forget it. And he walked on out the door. The man on my right, he gonna come in front of me to pick up the piece of paper with his right hand.
That's this gentleman?
Yes, and take his left hand and knock me to the floor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your lawyer thought you were going to be able to get a lot of money from the bank. And it wasn't the bank's fault because Mr. Cooper had bad manners.
Yeah.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 62-year-old Betty McKenzie says while standing in line at her bank, 72-year-old Lonnie Cooper knocked her to the floor. Mr. Cooper denies any wrongdoing and claims Ms. McKenzie was the one who caused the disturbance.
Mr. Cooper?
Yeah. In the first place, it was on the right-hand side of the teller, and the fellow, the elderly gentleman in front of me, dropped most of his stuff, and I reached down to try to help him, and she busted on past, and I did this to her. I didn't know what it was, and in turn, she wound up over in there.
What do you mean, Mr. Cooper? She brushed on past you.
Well, she was behind me, so she didn't have no business in front of me.
Just a second. What do you mean she brushed on past you, Mr. Cooper?
Yeah, just like that. And
who is this?
It's a witness.
Is that your witness?
Character witness.
I'm not interested in a character witness. I assume that you're both characters. Because anybody who can get involved in this has got to be a character. Now listen to me. You stand up for a second. I want you to show me how she brushed on past you.
Come on. See the...
You're her. So show me what she did to you.
The elderly gentleman was up front.
Right.
And I was here and trying to help him with his stuff.
Right.
And she come past me, and I shoved her like that, and she went over into there.
Right.
See, she was behind me.
I understand that, sir. Mr. Cooper, step back to where the microphone is. Sit down. Mr. Cooper, why did you push her?
She came, brushed past. I told you I was standing in front trying to help the fella with the papers on the floor.
Why did you push her?
I didn't push. She came past just like that.
No, you pushed her. You just told me that you pushed her.
But it was on the right-hand side.
I don't care if right, left, middle. It doesn't make any difference, Mr. Cooper. You pushed this lady down. You had no right to do that, sir.
Well?
Yes, that's what you told me. You told me that you pushed her. And she fell. She's not 12 years old. You pushed the lady, she fell down.
Around pushing women.
Well, but you did push her,
sir. And if she had acted like a lady and stayed in line like she's supposed to, this would never be happening.
Mr. Cooper, you are not
Shh. Order.
Mr. Cooper, you are not a behavior monitor. A bank behavior monitor. If she did something wrong, you might have said something to her, but you had no right to push her. Now, Miss McKenzie, my question to you is
I didn't intend to push her. I wouldn't have to push her if she had stayed back there where she was supposed to be.
Okay. I understand what you're saying, Mr. Cooper. You're not following me, sir.
Okay.
Miss McKenzie, you say you were injured.
Yes,
How were you injured, madam?
Like I said, he pushed me to the floor hard. My ear, my back, my legs, I got photos of it.
Can I see it, please? Ooh, that's a nasty. That's just between you and me, okay? Do you have doctor's reports?
Yes, I do.
May I see them, please? I don't think that once you pass the age of 2 or 3, you ought to show your rear end in public. I mean, that's a... So you keep the photographs.
Yes, I will.
How will she get past me if I'm in front of her?
Mr. Cooper, stop being a nudnik.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
You had medical bills of $2,645?
That's one of them.
When did this incident occur? What date?
The 4th of March.
This wouldn't have happened if she had been a lady and stayed back there where she was supposed to be, but she wanted to be bullheaded.
Mr. Cooper, she has a lot of medical bills here, and you did the wrong thing. You have medical bills that are about $3,000, $4,000. Were any of them reimbursed by your insurance?
No.
Why not?
I had got a lawyer at first, but he had thought it was the bank. And then when he found out it wasn't a bank, then I had to take it on my... Yes.
Don't you have medical insurance?
I had Medicaid.
Did you submit these bills to Medicaid?
No, well, my doctor had told me not to do that.
your doctor told you not to do that because your lawyer thought he was going to be able to work up a big medical bill so that you were going to be able to get a lot of money from the bank. Right. And it wasn't the bank's fault because Mr. Cooper had bad manners. Yeah. But I think, Mr. Cooper, that what you did to this lady was wrong, and she suffered for months as a result of your pushing her. She's suing for $5,000. That's what I'm giving her, $5,000, judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
Out the back door to your right, please.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge...
Teeters Holman versus Slatter. Step forward, please.
25-year-old Cammie Holman says 24-year-old vacuum salesman Jeffrey Slater swept her off her feet, conning her and her mother, Lois Teeters, out of thousands of dollars. Jeffrey says after he and Cammie split up, she began harassing him for money.
Order. All rise. This is number 252 on the calendar in the matter of Teeters Holman versus Slatter. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Who's Mrs. Teeters? Is that you? Miss Holman? Ma'am. Mother and daughter. Former live-in boyfriend.
Correct.
I have two complaints here, and according to both complaints, at some point you met him and he moved into your house. Your house. And did you move in there with your child, sir?
Yes.
You have a daughter?
Yes.
How old is she?
3.
You have custody of her?
Not full custody, no.
Were you living with her full time when you moved into their house?
With my daughter, partial time, half and half.
Okay. And according to the complaint, during the time that he lived there, each of you were foolish enough to let him use a credit card, and he ran up substantial bills on those credit cards, and then took off. Why don't you start? First, what prompted you to let him move into the house?
Well, I was going to rent a room to somebody anyway to help me make ends meet, and they were getting together, and he was interested in moving out from his mother's place. She was driving him nuts or something, so he needed a place to live. So it worked out. It seemed fine for both of us.
But according to these papers, he moved into your daughter's room.
Yes, they were a couple by then.
So that didn't help to pay your bills if...
Well, he was going to pay rent. Yes, he was paying rent.
He was paying rent?
Yes, he paid the rent.
How much rent did he pay?
$400 a month.
Okay, now would you mind telling me why you gave him a credit card?
It started out just, you know, he wanted to make some purchases, and he only got paid every 2 weeks, and he was gaining weight, needed clothes and what have you, and he would give me a post-dated check. And I let him do that, and he did. The first couple of purchases, he gave me a check, and I held it, and then, you know, when he got paid and it was good, I mailed it in to the credit card company.
Did you give him his own credit card, or did you just let him use yours?
No, he had authorization. Cammie has copies of my cards. We have, you know, 2 cards on the account, so if she was with him and they were shopping, they would get something and put it on my card. And he gave me a check and paid me back. So the first 2 or 3 times, you know, that was swell, it worked. And he wanted to make some larger purchases, and the arrangement...
Like what?
Oh, well, he was trying to build his car to race, so he wanted like a transmission, and he had this good deal and a converter and different things that he was buying. And the arrangement was that he would make the payments to the credit card company, and that worked for me because then I didn't have to come up with the minimum. My minimum would be met. And he would get behind, like it would be 2 or 3 months. I'd get phone calls from the creditors, and they'd say, "You're behind," and I would check with him, and he'd say, "Oh, I mailed it, I'll call them and straighten it out." So he did make some small payments on the minimums on the account. I can't say for the first few months because it would be 2 or 3 months before he made a payment, but you see, you know,
okay, now
over
how
a
much
period
does
of
he
time.
owe altogether on your credit card? Take it out. We'll show it to him. Together with the purchases.
The total that I have mine made up for is $4,926.60. That's documented amounts.
Okay. Have you shown those to him, those charges?
Yes, he has copies. He
You
has
have
been
copies
given
of those,
copies
sir?
in the past of all
I've
of
had
them.
copies. I don't have them with me now.
But you've seen them?
I've seen them, yeah.
Good. Now, what about your credit card?
Okay, my credit card started out with he needed a gas tank fixed in his 68 Camaro because at the beginning of our relationship, that was his transportation to work. He didn't have the money.
First, what prompted you to have him come into your house? How long had you known each other before you decided to move him into your house?
We were friends before, and then we got together, and we were together every day since. And so
how long?
How long? That once we got together?
Now, how long were you friends first?
Oh, May of '96.
Yes.
And then got together July 4th.
Of '96?
Yes.
A really long courtship. At least 8 weeks.
Well, he's a very smooth talker. I was also coming out of a bad marriage, and it's nice when someone tells you, you know, all these wonderful things about you and makes you feel wanted and loved, which is what I needed at the time, I guess. And I think he played on that, too. But that's a personal thing.
So he moved in?
Yes. And we made a room for his daughter. She had her very own room. My mom and I purchased all the stuff to decorate it. We made them, it was their home.
Are any of these bills for what you did in furnishing his daughter's room?
No. And Tiffany has her bedding and stuff. Her mother has it. She uses it with Tiffany.
But those were gifts?
Right, those were gifts, yes.
Okay, but so now tell me about how you came to give him your credit card.
He needed a gas tank, like I said, the repair, and he didn't have the money. And, you know.
Did you know that he was already using your mother's credit card?
No, he hadn't. He used mine before he used my mom's.
Did you know that he had used your daughter's before you let him use yours?
I don't really remember if I knew it specifically that he had.
Go ahead.
So we got his gas tank repaired. He was driving a long distance, and he'd run out, basically have to fill up just to get back home because it was all pouring out on the ground.
And how much was that?
That was $120. That's rough. I mean, I have it of the credit card thing.
Okay, but there were a lot of bills here, according to you. 3,000 some odd dollars worth.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She came in just ranting and raving because I was leaving. She didn't want me to leave. And then after she hit me, I defended myself and pushed her to the ground. Yes, I did.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 25-year-old Cammie Holman says the man she thought she loved, 24-year-old Jeffrey Slater, conned her and her mother, Lois Teeters, out of thousands of dollars. Jeffrey says Cammie is angry because they broke up.
Give me an idea of what he was purchasing on your credit card.
On mine specifically?
Yours.
Robinson's May. He needed new clothes. Like my mom stated, he had gained weight when we got together. I guess he liked my mom's cooking. I don't know. So there were lots of purchases for new clothes for him, as well as one of his mom's Christmas present was purchased on my Robinson's May card.
Did you purchase your mother's Christmas present on her credit card?
She purchased it, yeah.
He was with me at shopping. His mother would not have gotten a Christmas present, or her boyfriend, if it hadn't been me paying for it.
Well, I understand that, but did he say, can I buy my mother a Christmas present and put it on your card?
No.
Shh. Did he say that to you?
He said, I said, we need to go shopping and buy your mom something. He said, well, what should we do? I said, well, let's go to Robinson's May and get something for her. So we went, because I have a Robinson's May card. But that's only $21.54. That's...
Well, you see, that's a problem.
Right.
Because in order to have an agreement for him to pay you back, there has to be some sort of an agreement. This wasn't a, you know, I'll lend you the money to buy your mom a Christmas present.
So we can get rid of the Christmas
present. So give me some
fine.
others.
Okay, so he got clothes for him, $297.25, $132.50, $43.09. Those are all clothes for him.
Give me some of the big bills that come up to $3,000.
Jacob's electronic system, that is an electronic system for his 68 race car, his Camaro. It's an electronic system.
And how much was that?
Part of it was $515.44. The other part is $281.85.
Does that, Mr. Slater, have a familiar ring to it?
I know exactly what the Jacob system is.
No, but does that bill?
Oh, yeah, the bill, no, I know exactly what it is.
Well, then tell me about it, sir.
Well, during the time that we were living together, I went ahead and we were building my race car, or at the time we were building it.
What do you mean we were building your race car?
They were helping me purchase items for my car.
Yeah.
And during that time, I purchased an electronic system for making the car run proper, and I went ahead, ordered it with their consent, and when it came in, as time came on, I gave money for it over a period of time.
So you're telling me that you paid it all off?
I'm not saying I paid everything, because a lot of the stuff that we had purchased were purchases together.
No, not for your car.
Just
If
a
I wanted-
second.
I'm sorry.
Let's just talk about the car. I mean, I read your answer, and you seem to say, I don't owe her anything. That these were things that were purchased sort of as a couple.
A lot of stuff was purchased as a couple, yes, but as the car, over the course of time that I've lived there, I have paid money to the credit card companies
How
direct.
much? Show me.
This here, what I have in my hand, is basically a check register on 2 different things that shows
I'm not
documentation.
interested in your check register, sir.
Well, what I'm saying is this here shows what I paid, when I paid, and amounts.
It shows nothing. Canceled checks show what you paid.
Okay, well, I can get canceled checks, but I did not get any, no.
Well, where did you think you were coming today, sir? To a ball? You were
Well-
coming to court. What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm a store manager.
Which means that you know something about business.
Correct.
Right? You can take a check register and sit down and do it almost like a novel. Write whatever you want in there. That's why we use canceled checks as proof. What is that? That is nothing. A
No.
check register is a nothing. How much did he pay in total on your credit card?
I don't know. I didn't include any of the ones that he had paid.
None.
No.
And what about you, Cammie?
He gave me about $140. That went to, he took my car to Bakersfield.
Whatever. He gave
And
you about
used the gas
$140.
card. Yes,
Can
it
I see some
wasn't
of these?
credit
Now I
cards.
want to take a look at some of the charges.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, just the whole
These-
package. Yeah.
There's letters in there saying, we highlighted some
I don't
parts
want the
for you.
letters. I just want to see
Okay. It just says that he's going to pay us. So I didn't know that particular one right there on top.
Jacobs Electronics ignition system, $515. Is that you?
That was mine.
Okay. How about a trip to Texas airfare? What is that?
When we were dating, we were going to plan a trip to go to my father's house, and I didn't have the money at the time, and she made the arrangements with my job. She went ahead and purchased the tickets for me, Cammie, and my daughter, and we flew out.
So this was for me to go back and meet his family, to meet his family.
Is that what the trip was intended for, sir?
It was just supposed to be a trip for all of us to go visit, because I haven't seen my father in quite a few years.
Well, why should she pay for that?
It was a gesture. She said, okay, and then I was going to pay part of it.
You were going to pay part of it?
Yeah, I was.
How much?
As much as my plane ticket was.
And what about your daughter?
Well, we hadn't talked about that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Pay $72 to get your hair styled. They're ripping you off, sir.
Real people, Judge Judy. Cammie Holman says she thought she loved 24-year-old Jeffrey Slater until she realized he was conning her and her mother, Lois Teeters. Jeffrey denies the allegation.
We have something here. Spark plugs.
Yeah, he bought new spark plugs and wires for his car, Excel. It was at an auto parts store.
that
They
you
wouldn't
t-
take his check.
Is that you, sir? Spark plugs.
Yes,
That
probably.
sound familiar? Why don't you
could be.
pay your own bills? Why are you relying on these two ladies to pay your bills?
During that particular thing there, they would not accept a check from me at that time for whatever reason.
So why don't you just give them cash? Everybody accepts cash.
I didn't have cash on me.
Well, why
And
don't you
then-
just go to the bank and get cash?
Well, we were going to, but Cammie said, well, why don't we just put it on my charge and then
No,
you can pay me
we
back.
said, can we just use your charge instead of having to leave and go to the bank and come back?
All right. Look, there came a time when you left, right?
Yes.
Why?
Things were working out between us, and I decided, things were going to work out for the long term, and I wanted to get out of there. And then after I left, things started getting more hectic. I had to have the cops called on her at my job.
Why is that, sir?
Because he hit me and threw me on the ground and left bruises, which the bruise pictures are at home. We accidentally forgot them.
When she came in my job, she come in ranting and raving because she didn't want me to leave, first of all. And
'Cause you owe my
I
mom
said,
money.
okay. She came in just ranting and raving because I was leaving. She didn't want me to leave. And then after she hit me, I defended myself and pushed her to the ground. Yes, I did. And then after that, I got up, grabbed the phone to make a phone call to the police. And at that time, when I started coming up, she comes around our counter bin and hangs up the phone. And then grabs me by the hair and just yanks
No,
a ton of
that's
hair
not
out.
what happened.
And then during that time, then she's saying, well, you owe my mom this, you owe my mom that, and I want it this and that. And then my phone rang. I finally got away from Cammie. And when the phone rang, I answered the phone, and it was the Fullerton Police Department when they had to come out and
How
take her.
much after you left did this incident occur? Assuming, sir, that what you say is true, how much after you left did she come to your job?
Oh, she came to my job a couple times, but we had numerous amount of phone calls during the day. And then what finally ended up happening after I had the cops come, I had to leave that job and go to a whole different area and get away from them because of the phone calls and everything else. I was in the verge of losing my job because of it.
And how much money have you sent to both plaintiffs since you left?
Since I left?
Yes.
Not specifically to them, but that I sent to the credit card companies are probably around maybe $800 or so.
Just a minute. $800?
Roughly.
Show me the last bill here. And now, in what month did you leave, sir?
May.
Now take out your last check register. I love it when a game plan comes together. Your last check register, sir, since May.
This particular one right here is one of the last ones that I made.
The last bill that came from MBNA and stuff, I think.
May. What date did he leave?
May 1st.
May 1st.
That's what time I told him to get out. He came.
Just a second. Shh. Is your credit card MBNA?
That's mine.
That's yours. All right. So here we have MBNA, $140. And then we're going to go down, and I'm going to see if I can find after May the rest of the $800. Let's see here. I must be missing something.
It might be right in April, too, when I paid some money.
We're not talking about April. I'm talking about since you left, sir.
Well,
I speak English. Do you speak English?
Yeah.
You said after May, after you left, you gave her about $800, and that your check register is accurate. So I see May 15th, $140. I'm just looking for the rest of the $800. I see one in July to a Powerhouse Gym for $350.
No,
Just later.
That's something else.
That's something else.
And that might be not the most current one because I had to change bank accounts.
No, this goes, sir, through all of the months. June, July, August. This does
I know,
everything.
but I have two different checking accounts.
Sir, you see anything written on my forehead? Huh?
No.
Who's Nicole?
My hairstylist.
Pays $72 to get your hair styled.
He pays for his
They're ripping you off,
well.
sir. Well, so far, sir, all I see of the $800 is $140. Nothing else. I see another $380 for your gym. You spend a lot of money between your haircuts and gym. Nothing for what you owe.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Sir, you have to take responsibility for what you do. These people are not related to you by blood. They are not related to you by marriage.
Thank God.
You had a relationship with this young lady. She thought it would work out. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. In any event, you spent a lot of their money. Not only did you spend it, you enjoyed it, and you have the fruits of it. You're driving around in a car, unless you sold it, that they fixed. You're wearing nice clothes that they paid for. You have a nice stereo system that you listen to. And on and on and on, based on these bills that you say you saw. So you owe them the money. And your excuse that you didn't have an agreement with them is just a lot of baloney. I mean, I don't think that these are ladies that have an awful lot of money. And I think, furthermore, your conduct, knowing that you owe them the money, and spending in 2 months' period of time almost $800 on a gym and $70 to get your hair coiffed is a lot of nerve. So the judgment in the case is for one plaintiff in the amount of $3,000 and the other in the amount of $4,900. That's all.
Excuse, you may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next...
Party's on Coleman versus Smith. Step forward, please.
Nancy Light is suing Ann Betts on behalf of her two children, 17-year-old Alexis and 15-year-old Aaron. Alexis and Aaron claim they invested $600 in a rave dance concert. They say they got ripped off and want their money back.
Who is Alexis?
That'd be me.
And you are how old?
I'm 17.
You're her mom?
Yeah.
And her brother?
Yeah.
Why don't the two of you sit down for a moment and just leave Alexis right here? All right. According to these papers, you were planning a rave party. Yes. Is that pronounced correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to tell me what that is in a minute. And the plaintiff invested $600 in this party, and she received for her $600, $250 at the party's conclusion. She's suing you for the rest. Is that right?
Correct.
So who's going to tell me first what a rave party is?
It's an all-ages, non-alcoholic dance event. It's music that usually we bring lighting and sound in, and goes from 8 p.m. until 6 or 7 a.m. Spend anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 on a party, and it's to provide like all ages of children with things to do, kids and adults, and it's not a club scene, it's not an alcoholic thing.
Is that what you do for a living, plan these parties?
No, it's just an extra thing that I do.
Okay. What prompted you to solicit funds from somebody who was a minor?
She wanted to invest in the party.
How did you know her?
She comes to parties.
Is that what happened?
We were friends. We were somewhat close friends going into this, and I guess March before the party, she asked my brother and I, actually my brother first, if he would like to invest, which was more like a loan, not really an investment. It was a loan that we would be getting paid back, because she knew that my mom was weary about letting us loan her this money because it's a large investment.
And according to your answer, at least, your defense to this lawsuit is twofold, right? You say, one, the party didn't make enough money, and second, because she's a minor, you couldn't enter into a valid contract with her.
We didn't have anything in writing. It was an investment, and when you make money, you make. When you lose, you lose.
I have a written statement here from Ann that was given to me the night after the party. I don't know, do you want to see this, or do you want me to read it to you, what it says?
Is that something you wrote to her?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Well, read me the pertinent part.
It will only take a few weeks of busting overtime and work and living clean, and you'll have my word. You'll have my word that I will have your money back ASAP. I am only sorry things didn't work out any easier. I will pay every penny back plus some interest. Thank you so much for your help and participation. Sincerely, Ann.
Sound familiar?
Yes.
So what happened?
Well, the other guy who was involved in the party stole about $3,000 from the party, and I was forced to pay back all the investment, which was like, he didn't pay any of it back, and I've paid all of it back but about $200. And since this has been written, I only owe them $200 now. There's another $150 that, of course, wasn't receipted, but she knows that I gave it to her after the last event.
Yes, she did.
So that all she owes you now is $200?
Yeah.
All right.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Miss Betts, I wanted to find out what this rave party was, and I wanted to find out what your story was. Bottom line is, your second premise in defense of this lawsuit is wholly 100% incorrect under the law. When you enter into a contract with a minor, you do so at your own peril. You knew she was a minor, that she is incapable of entering into a valid contract, whether it be an investment or a loan. Therefore, anyone who enters into a contract with a minor, there is no contract. That money has to be paid back to her, because dealing with her, even though she's pretty smart, pretty savvy, and she sounds like she doesn't take any baloney from anybody, it's no different dealing with her than it would be dealing with someone who was 8 years old in the eyes of the law. So you couldn't go over to somebody, an 8-year-old who was running a lemonade stand on the corner and say, would you like to invest $25 in my rave party? You can't do that. So you owe her the $200. Be smart. You have to learn something before you involve yourself in business.
Well, yeah. I trusted her, though, and that's
It's not a question of trust. It's a question of knowing what you know. At your age, you don't know a lot. Right?
Right.
You don't know a lot. You don't know a lot about business. You don't know a lot about people. Your mother probably does. But you don't.
She knows a lot.
That's why the law protects children from sometimes unscrupulous people who prey on young children to take their money out of their savings account, to take their money out of their piggy bank, to take their money out of their college fund, and invest in all kinds of harebrained schemes. There are blue chip stocks to invest in if you want to invest your money. Rave parties are not smart. Got it? Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $200. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next...
versus Muniz. Step forward, please.
34-year-old male model Brian Buzzini is suing Charles Muniz, owner of Baby Jane's of Hollywood. Brian is accusing Charles of selling unauthorized photographs of him to his fans.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please.
Your Honor, it's number 92 on the calendar in the matter of Buzzini versus Muniz. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, sir. Have a seat.
Mr. Buzzini, you say that the defendant has in his possession pictures of you and has been selling them and is not authorized to have them or sell them. You want $5,000 in damages.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why don't you tell me how he came into possession of these pictures and why you think that you're damaged to the tune of $5,000?
Well, Your Honor, my wife had arranged a public appearance with the defendant. I was to appear, and what I was promoting at the time was a couple posters that I had and also a calendar which I'd worked on. It was a project of 2 years. This is one of the pictures that will be in question. The agreement was to appear for approximately 2 hours, which was fine, and I would be signing autographs of the posters, and that's all that I was aware of at the time.
Signing the posters?
Posters, correct.
Are you a model by trade, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
And I do have a portfolio here. This is my livelihood. And
okay. And Mr. Muniz, Muniz, you have a store that's called Baby Jane's of Hollywood?
Yes.
What kind of store is this?
Celebrity collectibles.
And how do you make your money?
Normally selling stills and posters and autographs. We have autograph sessions a couple times a year.
And is this one of those autograph sessions that
yes.
he arranged for?
Mrs. Buzzini came to us to carry his posters, and she wanted to sell us all the posters. We don't normally stock non-movie posters. So what we agreed with her was we would give him 100% of the money for the poster sales as long as he would sign the other photographs that we had, which were from a Playgirl layout from 1985. He was Man of the Year. But we asked if she could supply us with another photo that was current and that he had clothes on, that we could use with the press and that he could sign at the event.
How many photographs were you supposed to get for you to sell in exchange for letting him come in and sign his posters and sell them?
We printed 50 of each image. There are 3 images.
So you had 150
yes.
altogether that was supposed to be your property, and you were supposed to keep 100% of the revenues from those?
No, he would get $5 for every signature that he put onto a photo. And if people came in with their own items, like their copies of Playgirl, he would get $5 for that also.
Your Honor, the defendant had mentioned to me prior to me arriving, would you object to signing other photographs if people brought them along? And I said, no, I'll accommodate that, and that's no problem.
Is that relevant?
Yes, it is.
How?
Because halfway during the, or not even halfway during, they started bringing pictures that was this picture, which I had no idea at the time that was printed up. This was not to be printed up. This is a project, Your Honor, that is in progress. I have not sold this yet.
Who started bringing those pictures?
Some of the fans that were lining up had a couple. There wasn't many. Most of them were the Playgirl, which I really didn't know that was going to happen either, that they would
Well,
be...
they had to get that picture from someplace, sir.
Well, they got it from Mr. Moniz,
Okay.
which I didn't understand.
How did he get that?
I gave him, not this particular picture, a larger, I believe, 11 by 14 print. My wife brought it to him to advertise that I would be there on January 11th. Your Honor, this is my livelihood. I'll just
Mr.
give you,
Bazzini, I'm trying to understand.
I'll give you an example.
No, don't give me an example. I'm not.
Well, this is...
Listen to me.
Okay, ma'am.
Put it down. Put it down.
I'm trying to show you my work, what I do for a lot of money, my livelihood, to raise my children and my family.
Mr. Bazzini, this is a court, sir. Evidently, from your papers, and he acknowledges that you signed a bunch of them quickly, and he kept some of them. Is that correct?
No, they were, he was paid for everything that he signed. There were leftover unsigned ones. So in the interim between the December appearance and today, probably 5 photos have been sold that were unsigned.
And how much did you sell them for?
$15.
A piece?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Bazzini, that's what this lawsuit is about. Those, let us just say they were 5.
Even if it's 1, yes.
Okay. I want you to explain to me how you were damaged for $5,000.
Your Honor, if I can physically show you the type of work that I've done that has brought me this commercial reel that I have is $1 million.
Bazzini, this is not an opportunity for you to impress me with your work, sir.
No.
Well, I want you to explain to me how you're damaged. You sat at a desk, sir, and signed for $5 a piece the same pictures that he sold unsigned for $15 a piece. So it's not as if you didn't give away those pictures or sell those pictures when you were sitting there. So I don't understand where you come to $5,000, sir.
Ma'am, when I have a letter here, if you will, from my agent that explains what I make per image. My agreement with Mr. Moniz was entirely to promote something, correct? It was...
Just a minute, Mr. Bazzini, you're not following me. This is not a situation where they're invading your privacy, that they're using unauthorized pictures of you, that they're doing something in an underhanded fashion. They had some leftover pictures. You shouldn't have done that. You acknowledge, sir, that you shouldn't have sold those pictures. That wasn't part of your agreement.
Well, in movie memorabilia, that's what everything is the leftover pictures from press kits. And
I know, but was it your understanding with his wife that you could keep those?
I understood that we could. If it was a problem, he's more than... I mean, we could love to destroy the photos.
You want to say something?
I'm the co-owner of Baby Jane of Hollywood.
Roy Wyndham.
Yes.
And our entire agreement with Mr. Bazzini appearing was through his wife. We never once talked to Mr. Bazzini on the phone before the signing.
That's a lie.
I kept asking the wife, actually talking to a machine, saying that we need a current photograph for the day of the signing, and we needed a current photograph of him so we could advertise it, because the photograph that we had was him nude. And we can't advertise those in local newspapers.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I think your ego maybe is a little too big. You know, our story is Baby Jane of Hollywood, not Brian Bazzini of Hollywood.
And later today...
I don't think that once you pass the age of 2 or 3, you ought to show your rear end in public. So you keep the photographs.
Yes, I will.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 34-year-old model Brian Bazzini is suing the owner of Baby Janes of Hollywood, Charles Moniz, for selling unauthorized photographs. Mr. Moniz says it was an oversight and not done out of malice.
We're talking about the leftover pictures, pictures that you made extra of that were not used at the signing.
Correct.
That he is angry about because he said he was not paid for those pictures.
We paid for everything to be printed. We paid for everything to be made. And when he came in, everything was available for customers to purchase that day. And he saw the quantity that we had of each. And the remainder was there to be sold.
Well, but that's what he's saying. He's saying it was not his understanding that the remainder was going to stay with you to be sold. Is that what you're complaining
Your Honor,
about?
I didn't even know that these pictures existed. And if you could put yourself in the situation, you have
Where's
100
your
people
wife?
in line.
Where's your wife?
My wife was with my children.
Just a second.
She was 9 months pregnant.
Where's your wife today?
Today she's with my daughter at the doctor.
Mr. Bazzini.
Well, I think
you want to tell me what doctor it is? I'll give him a call.
Oh, I don't know.
Huh? I'm good at that. You want to tell me what doctor? Your wife was there who and your wife was the one who negotiated with these people what they were supposed to do. We haven't... Why don't you sit down?
I have a picture here that he signed. This is a photograph that he's complaining about. They autographed to me the day of the signing, so he knew that we had available in the store. He knew they were sold.
After the fact, Your Honor. After the fact, I'm sitting there with 100 people in line.
I appreciate the hospitality.
Sit down, sir.
Your Honor,
we're reaching a point, sir, where I'm getting frustrated because...
I'm getting frustrated also. I have 100 people in line. I can't stop it. I'll look like a damn prima donna. Pardon me. I look like a prima donna. I mean, what am I supposed to do? These pictures are starting to come. It's my understanding that I'm selling posters. I've traveled all over the world, and if you'd allow me to show you something, I could give you an idea of what I make.
Sir,
I make $5,000
this is not an opportunity
per appearance. Not $5. I was doing that more as a favor and to get something circulated.
Mr. Buzzini,
with a new
you're full of baloney. Let me tell you why you're full of baloney, sir.
I've got letters.
Let me tell you why you're full of baloney, sir. You're full of baloney, A, because your wife entered into these negotiations. You did not. Your wife is not here today. There's a reason for it, and it's not because she's with the doctor with your child. Two, you still haven't told me today why you believe you're entitled to $5,000. Your complaint is that he sold the pictures without your autograph, 5 of them, and you say that you're damaged to the tune of $5,000 when you sat there yourself and signed the same pictures for $5 a piece.
Can I clarify something?
Go ahead.
I questioned it the first time this picture was presented to me to sign. I said, this is a project. I don't want this picture out. That's like revealing the cover of your book to the public before people see it. I questioned it. They said it's for a few of your wonderful fans or your best fans. Somebody said that, and I said, how do you define who's the best fan here? And I said, okay, fine. I mean, I'm sitting there in front of a bunch of people, ma'am. I don't want to make a ruckus.
Just a second. So you said, okay, fine, and you signed them.
The alternative was to walk out. Does that make me look? That doesn't make me look too great in front of people that sat in line for me, Your Honor.
Listen to me, sir.
I mean,
that's your option. If they presented you with pictures and you didn't want to sign them, you could have said, I'm not signing those. I'm just signing my posters, or I'll sign the photographs that people come with.
Well, that's good publicity.
Fine. You sold 5 pictures of him?
Yes.
And you sold them for $15 a piece?
Yes. Ma'am, can I just show you a letter from my agent?
No.
To give you an idea? I mean,
absolutely not. I'm not interested in a letter from your agent.
That is billboards all over the world for 5, 10, 20 grand.
Mr. Buzzini, how much did you make for the... Hey.
Pardon me?
How much did you make for the whole day?
Somewhere around $700, $800.
That's not $5,000, sir. So it seems that at least on some occasions you work for less than $5,000 a day. The judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $75, which is the amount of the 5 pictures, the most that you sold. Fares at $15 a piece. That's all.
Parties are excused. Step out, please.
No witness. If everybody could just take a damn picture of me, then I guess I wouldn't have much of a profession. That's like having vigilantes do the work for Judge Judy. Guess she'd be out of a job, wouldn't she? Might be a good idea.
And now the next case.
Parties on McKenzie versus Cooper. Step forward, please.
Mike Gorman says, while attempting to retrieve a package during a UPS strike, picketer Don Siemens pounded his sign on the hood of his car, causing severe damage.
All right, Mr. Gorman, you were expecting an important package that was to arrive, unfortunately, during the UPS strike.
That's correct.
And you had to go and pick that package up at the warehouse, correct?
Yes.
Your complaint alleges that when you went there, the defendant was one of the strikers, he was online, and he damaged your car.
That's correct.
You want to tell me what happened, please?
Yes, actually, I made arrangements to have the package shipped to me by FedEx because of...
Listen, sir, I got other cases to do today.
I understand.
At some point, you had to go and pick up your package at the UPS warehouse.
That's correct.
You're in your car.
I'm in my car.
And you're driving there.
Yes.
And what do you see?
The strikers were blocking the returning trucks, and I circled the block numerous times until the police finally arrived. I went in with the returning trucks, picked up my package, and when I left, I knew it was going to be trouble. And several of the strikers were marching very close and impeding my exit. And they started jumping on the front of my car and on the trunk. They were pounding on the windows, cursing at me, chanting slogans. I inched along, and the police finally came over, and removed the people on my car. Mr.
They were actually on your car?
Oh, yes, ma'am. At least 8 of them.
Okay.
On the front and the back. And Mr. Siemens was the last to be removed. And when he exited, he took his sign and pounded it into my hood. And I immediately stopped the car, and the police separated us, and he went over and took our names and information.
What was the cost of the damage to your car?
Approximately $500.
You have the bill?
I do.
All right, Mr. Siemens.
I think he's living in a fantasy world. I can't believe this.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Are you interrupting me? 2 people can't talk at the same time. And when my mouth is moving, you have to be quiet.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Mike Gorman is suing UPS worker Don Siemens for damaging his car with a picket sign during a strike. Don says he was only trying to get out of the way when Mike drove through the picket line, nearly running him over.
You're on strike.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
You're circling.
We were walking the sidewalk there, yes, back and forth.
So tell me what happened.
Well, he didn't give us much of a chance, really, to get out of the way. He used his car as a battering ram and knocked us, some of us out of the way, myself onto the hood, and trying to get off of the hood the best I could. I guess my sign hit his car somehow.
What were you doing in front of his car?
Well, we were on the picket line.
No, what were you, not wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What were you doing?
I'm sorry.
Listen, you're walking around with a sign, Mr. Siemens.
Back
You
and
see
forth.
his car. You have several choices. You can either move to the side and make way for him to leave.
He didn't give us enough time, Your
No.
Honor. No, he didn't, honest. There was about 20 of us out there, 15 to 20 of us. And he hit 5 or 6 of us. Jason was there to contest it.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Sure.
Okay, we were ordered by our union to go on strike. We're all in front of the building striking. The plaintiff comes, he did not even slow down. He almost hit 3 of us when he was coming in, did not slow down. I don't know where he's getting this, oh, I inched in, inched out. He didn't do anything. Okay, so when he's coming out, we have more people come out to block him because this is ridiculous, the fact that he came in and almost ran us over. I mean, we're pedestrians.
Just a second.
All right.
You just said a very important thing, sir. You said you had a lot more people out there to block him. That's what you just said.
Well, we set it up.
Just a sec. Hey, that's exactly what he said, sir. He said there were people blocking him, cursing at him. Right? Mr. Cronky.
We were telling him to stop.
You were telling him to stop what?
Because I was right in front of his car, and we were telling him to stop because he was running me over. His bumper was pushing right into my legs.
Why didn't you just walk away, Mr. Cronky?
Because he was already running into me at the time, Your Honor.
No, Mr. Cronky. My recollection of the UPS strike was that there were managers driving the trucks, correct?
Well, while the policemen were there.
Yes, is that correct?
Yes, management.
And is it also correct that they were being heckled, for want of a better term, as the trucks were going in and out?
We were just stopping them from doing their course of business. We were setting up a picket line.
You were stopping them
Yes, we were not
from going into their building.
Isn't that the whole purpose of a picket line?
Yes.
Isn't that the purpose of a picket line?
Just
No, sir.
We're disrupting.
No, sir. That's not the purpose of a picket line. Let me ask you this question, sir. Do you believe that if this gentleman was going to pick up his package and he had a clear path to go
He
into...
didn't have a clear path, Your Honor.
Are you interrupting me? 2 people can't talk at the same time. And when my mouth is moving, you have to be quiet. Do you think that if this man, who was doing nothing more than going to pick up his package, got there, saw your picket line, and there was a path for him to go in, pick up his package, and come out, we would be standing here today? No.
He went in about 30 miles an hour also into the driveway. And on the way out, there were more pickets for him to go through.
There were,
What right does that give him to run into us, Your Honor?
I don't believe, sir, that he ran into you. I believe that you were blocking him.
Why?
That's what he just said. They brought out a whole bunch of other people to block him.
I believe at
That's
the
what
time
your
I was a
witness just said to
pedestrian
me,
and
Mr. Siemens.
We walked back and forth the street. That's what a picket line's for.
I believe at the time I was a pedestrian and an automobile hit me.
Yeah,
Is there something right with that?
That's what you believe?
Yeah, what right does
That's
that...
what you believe? How many people were out there on the picket line by the time he came out?
Approximately 20.
Okay, so there are 20 people,
and he's one person in his car. Do you think that that's intimidating with people yelling and screaming and cursing? You think that that's intimidating? You can't tell me that you weren't yelling at the people who were going into...
No, ma'am.
Mr. Siemens.
We were not yelling.
He wasn't there for any other purpose than to pick up his package.
We had no
and
idea.
run over a few people. That's all right.
Well, run over a few people.
I don't see how that gives them the right to run over, to hit us.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
You have no right to inhibit him from going to pick up his package in any way. What if it contains insulin for his baby that he needed? You didn't give a damn. It didn't make any difference what was in this package.
Excuse me.
It could have been penicillin, it could have been a heart transplant, it could have been anything else. The fact that it was, what was it, computer equipment or something?
It was an item I needed for my business.
Your business was impeding business as usual for UPS. That's a legitimate thing to do as far as a strike is concerned, letting people know you're on strike, that you have a grievance. He's an individual citizen and he has a right to go and pick up his property. And if he chooses to go through your picket line, he chooses to do that. That's his choice. And you have no right to impede that. You owe him $461.85, which was the cost to fix his car. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back, go to your right, please.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on
Sandoval versus Gentry. Step forward, please.
25-year-old Rich Sandoval says his former girlfriend, Sandy Gentry, 23, falsely led him to believe that he was the father of her child. When he discovered he was not the father, he filed a $5,000 suit claiming emotional distress.
Order. All rise.
Yeah, it's case number 261 on the calendar in the matter of Sandoval versus Gentry. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Mr. Sandoval, according to your papers, sir, you and the defendant dated briefly and were romantically involved, were sexually intimate.
Yes.
And there came a time when you broke up.
Yes.
And during that time, you were pregnant, had a baby. Is that right?
Yes.
And you called him and told him that you would have the baby.
Yes. Yeah.
And invited him to come over to see the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what you said to him?
Yes, when we were at my house, I had told him that I had been with another person, but I was pretty sure that he had been the father because I had used a condom with the other guy that I was with. So I let him know straight up that I had been with another guy. So.
Did she tell you that, sir?
No.
Hmm? She never told you that?
No, she did not.
That doesn't make sense, madam, that you would tell him that when you invite him over to see the baby and say, listen, this could be yours and it couldn't be yours. In any event, she told you that the baby was yours?
That's correct.
And at that time, according to these papers, you weren't living close to each other.
That's correct.
Where were you living, sir?
I was living in Stockton with my mother.
And where were you living?
I was living in Hayward with my parents.
And how far is that away?
About 50 miles.
And you moved?
Yes, I moved to be near the child.
Did you take an apartment?
I rented a house with my friend.
And you were visiting the baby?
Yes.
How often?
About at least 3 times a week.
Would you go over to her parents' house?
Yes, I would.
Is that right?
I did.
A couple times, yes.
So he would come over and visit with the baby. Were you present when he visited with the baby?
Yes.
Did you hold the baby?
Yes, I did.
Did you feed the baby?
Yes, I did.
Did he?
Yes.
Did you take the baby out?
Yes, I did. Sometimes with her, sometimes away from her.
And for how long did this go on?
From the time she was about 3.5 weeks till she was about 5.5 months.
So for 5.5 months, for 5 months, you spent a lot of time with the baby.
Yes.
And then there came a time when you were called into court for child support.
No, that's not true.
What happened?
I initiated court proceedings against her because she would not give me any access to the child whatsoever.
Well, what happened that stopped this free flow of visitation that you had?
We began having problems arguing over money and things because she didn't think that I was trying hard enough to look for work.
So you were arguing over something?
Yes.
Did there come a time when you told him that he wasn't to see the baby anymore?
Yes, he was harassing me at work. He kept calling me. I told him not to call me in case of emergency. He'd called me anyway, over and over
What would he call you
again.
about?
What are you doing? I'm at work. I'm working, you know?
Yes.
And as I said, you know, just please call me, you know, if there's an emergency, and he would call me just any time.
Well, what did that have to do with the baby?
And then he would go over the babysitter's house. You know, she asked him to call first. He wouldn't call first. He just started showing up over there. It's just, it's just a bunch of things that just came down to it. I don't...
So you told him that he couldn't see the baby anymore. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So you went to court.
Yes, I did.
And when you went to court, you had a blood test.
Yes, and it excluded me.
And the blood test said that you could not possibly be the biological father of this child.
That's correct.
And then what happened, sir? Because that's not the only thing that you're suing her for, the fact that she misled you.
I got served papers at my aunt's house in March, on March 20th, and I received the papers by April.
And that was the state calling you into court for
Yes.
child support.
Correct.
Because you had listed his name as the father.
And the welfare department, they have you put down...
No, listen to me. Just answer my question.
Yes.
You had listed his name as the father.
And the other guy also. They have you put down whoever the father could be on a child support paper. And so, you know, you put down both of them and they go from there.
So you were called into court again, sir?
Yes. And I was told that they would start detaching my wages, taking my taxes. And I sent them copies of this paternity test, and, I mean, they wouldn't hear it. They said because there was 2 parties that took the test that I had to resubmit it again.
So you took the test again?
Yes, I did.
And it again excluded you?
Yes, correct.
Did you have to pay for the blood test?
The second one? No, I did not.
Did you have to pay for the first one?
Yes, I did.
How much did you have to pay for the first one?
I believe it was $440.
Did you have to pay for a lawyer?
No, I represented myself completely.
Did you have any other expenses, sir, as a result of this proceeding? Out-of-pocket expenses?
Out of my pocket?
Yes.
Court fees?
How much were the court fees?
$370.
Anything else?
No.
Now, for my own information, Miss Gentry, what happened when they blood tested the other man who you claimed that you named?
They're still trying to find him.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So as painful as it is right now to you, taught you a very good lesson. You want to fool around? Cover up.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 25-year-old Rich Sandoval says when a court-ordered paternity test proved he was not the father of Sandy Gentry's baby, he sued for emotional stress. Sandy says she made an honest mistake and is being harassed by Mr. Sandoval.
You working now?
No, I'm not.
Why not?
I'm trying to establish where I'm living and, you know, I'm trying to get a job, yes.
Where were you working before?
Just odd jobs through a temp agency.
So why did you stop working?
Because I just couldn't handle it anymore. I couldn't handle him. He came to my work, or someone came to my work, and I just couldn't take the harassment anymore.
What harassment?
From him. And I just couldn't take it anymore. What was going on?
Well, explain to me what was going on, Miss Gentry. I don't understand what was going on.
Well, just he would harass me, and he would...
That's a conclusion. How did he harass you?
He would call me, he would threaten me.
How did he threaten you?
He threatened me and my friend over the phone.
What did he say, madam?
That he was, if I didn't watch out, I was going to be shot, things like that.
Did you ever say that to her? You know, the problem, Miss Gentry, is when a court gets the impression that somebody's a liar, they question everything that they say. Now, you told this man that he was the father of this child. He believed you.
I did tell him that there was another guy, that there was a possibility that the other guy might have been the father, but...
I don't believe that. It doesn't strike me as being accurate, madam, that you gave him any suggestion whatsoever that this was not his child, because if you did, it is unlikely that he would have left his mother's house and moved to be closer to the baby, that he would have gone over and spent days with this baby, bonding with this baby, feeding her according to you, holding her, taking her out, taking her to... You're his mother?
Yes.
Did he used to bring the baby to your house?
Yes.
Visiting a grandmother, getting this whole family involved with this baby? If you had said to him, listen, there's a chance the baby's not yours, doesn't make sense. That's why I think you're a liar. And I think you're a liar when you say that he threatened to shoot you. And I do. I do.
I have my witness right here.
Oh, yes,
She
step
was
up.
Yeah.
Step up. Let me hear your witness. Who are you?
I'm Gina.
Gina what?
Gina Ito.
How do you know her?
My brother is dating her. And
your brother's dating her?
Uh-huh. Through the
Another genius.
Through the times that she moved out of her mother's house and was living with me for a while.
What was she living with you for?
To get back on her feet.
But was she dating your brother at the time?
Uh-huh.
What do you want to tell me about these threats, madam? You have anything to tell me firsthand?
For threats, yeah, he has called. He said, you better watch your back. I will get you.
Okay. And under what circumstance did he say that to you?
He called up.
Called up for what?
For no reason. Harassing. He called up for no reason.
Was his child living in your house?
Yes, she was.
Sit down. Listen, Mr. Sandoval.
Yes.
When you had sexual relations with this lady, did you use protection?
No, I didn't.
Dumb.
I know.
Very dumb. You almost deserve what you get if you don't use protection. You know?
True.
What you got was a story that you had a child, but you could have gotten was a lot worse.
That's correct.
Right?
Yes.
And I think she's as manipulative as can be, because she let you see the baby, then she stopped you from seeing the baby, she found a new boyfriend, she moved out of her mother's house, her mother probably was fed up with her, she moved into the sister's house of the boyfriend. Sounds to me as if your baby's going to need a lot of luck. Baby's got a father who's off someplace else. We don't know who he is right now. We're in the third relationship that I know about. Him, the one who's in the wind, who maybe is the father, and this new boyfriend. So what are you suing for, sir?
I'm suing for loss of wages from when I left in February up until present time now.
Now listen.
The cost that it took me to relocate from my mother's house to move down there to be near this child.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What you're saying, it does not sound logical. And if it doesn't sound logical, to me, it didn't happen.
And later today,
there are blue chip stocks to invest in if you want to invest your money. Rave parties are not smart. Got it?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
You're suing her for a lot of money. You want $5,000 in damages. And I don't think that there's probably any way that you're going to get $5,000, but I think she certainly has to pay you for every bit of out-of-pocket expenses that you have, plus something for punitive damages, because I think that she caused you a great deal of heartache.
Yes, she did.
You shaking your head no?
I'm just... Huh? I just don't understand why you don't believe that I didn't tell him that.
Why don't I believe it? It's not logical. You used him for the first few months until you found somebody else. And when you found somebody else, that's her brother, then you decided to cut him off. And when you decided to cut him off because you were too busy with another social event in your life, then he started to call and he wanted to see the baby. You were cutting him off. So he was forced at that point to go to the family court to establish his parental rights and establish visitation. That all sounds very, very logical. And what you're saying, it does not sound logical. And if it doesn't sound logical, to me, it didn't happen. The truth of the matter is, Mr. Sandoval, it was a good thing that she stopped you from seeing the baby, because you could have gone on for 5 years.
That's correct.
Been paying all kinds of child support, allowed to further bond with this baby, and you would never have known that she wasn't yours. You could have gone on for 20 years, and all of a sudden you needed a blood transfusion. You take her blood, and they say to you, sorry, this baby that you've loved for 20 years really isn't yours. So as painful as it is right now to you, It was only 5 months worth of pain at your age and taught you a very good lesson. You want to fool around? Cover up. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back, to your right, please.
I guess he just wants money. I don't know what he wants.
No, justice. There's a difference.
Whatever.
And now the next case.
All parties on light versus bets. Step forward, please.
55-year-old engineering assistant Dee Pender says she bought a computer for 43-year-old Robert Crane while the two were dating. Robert claims he knows nothing about it.
While you and the defendant were dating, you claimed that you bought a computer for him, he agreed to pay you for the computer, stopped dating, and he hasn't paid you for the computer.
Right.
That's simple?
Right.
He says he doesn't know what you're talking about. You never bought him a computer. He doesn't know about a computer. Is that right?
Correct.
Interesting. So, how long were you dating before you bought him this computer, and tell me why you did in the first place?
Probably about 4 months I was dating him, and he was over that night, and we had talked about that I might get a computer. And I was on the phone, and he came in, and he says, "Oh, you're ordering a computer?" And I said, "Yeah." He says,
that's not right.
"Could,
Sure.
Do you think I could get one too?" And I said, "Well, I'll ask." So I asked, and she said, "You can buy as many as you want."
Well, where were you ordering these from?
Through my company that I work for.
Were you getting a good deal on them?
Yes.
Is that the idea?
Yes, uh-huh.
Go ahead.
They offered them to the employees only. And she said, yes, I could get as many as I wanted. I said, okay. He says, well, put it on your charge for me, and I'll pay you back next month. Fact is, he says, I'll pay the whole bill off. And I went, shh, wait till I'm done. So I finished ordering 2 computers and got off the phone. He says, yeah, he says, I'll pay the whole bill off. Everything on your bill I'll pay off. Yours and mine and anything else that's on there. He said, I make plenty of money. He said, no problem. And I said, no, you pay what you owe me. I pay my own bills.
How much was the computer that you bought for him?
In the end, by the time we got everything on there was $1,943.55. That's what it finally came to.
Okay.
So he comes over and he says, I make $15,000 a month. Here's my check stub. I'll show you. And I looked and I went, whoa. And he says, yeah, I make plenty of money. Don't worry, I'll pay the whole thing. I said, no, just pay your bill. That's all I want. And so the bill came in, and he says, well, the next month, he says, I'm a little short of cash. Can I just make the payment this time? He said, actually, I'll pay it when my tax check comes in. He said, that'll be in the next week. And I said, okay. I said, you know, pay $100 on this. Okay. So
did he give you $100?
Yes. Yes, he paid me $100.
Well, let me ask you this question. Have the computers been delivered?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They were delivered the next month.
Did you talk to him about his computer?
Oh, yeah. He said, yeah, he liked it. He thought it was great.
What kind was it?
A Micron? Micron, I believe. Here it is right here.
Okay. And which credit card did you put it on?
My Citibank Visa.
Okay.
There's a little note here that he left tagged on my car after he moved out in the middle of the night in his handwriting saying, I will pay you. He put this on my car. I put the date up there of the day he left it on my car.
Let me have it, please. Yes. I'm listening.
Yes, ma'am. As far as this computer, she'd called me and said she'd purchased a computer. And as far as another computer, I know nothing about it. I was very shocked on this lawsuit that she served me. I was very shocked. I was very shocked. And the thing I did, I finally had to move because all she did was call me every night. She wanted to pursue this relationship. Hey, I didn't want to hear anything else about it. So I finally had to move because we lived in the same complex. I did not need to hear any more of this
if you
from her.
can't be quiet, you have to leave. Do you understand?
So the only thing I can see is she's very distressed that she couldn't pursue this relationship.
So you think she bought these 2 computers that are clearly on her bill for somebody else, or maybe she just wanted 2 computers for herself?
Possibly. As far as that, the only thing I knew, she called me up, she said, oh, I bought a computer. Oh, you did? Okay. Fine.
If there would be a copy of a check that you gave her for $100, what would that be for?
It would be for some stamps that I purchased from her for a mail order business that she was going into, that I paid her for.
You are so full of baloney.
Am I?
You are so full of baloney. But you're a very quick thinker.
I'm not full of
You're a very quick thinker. I don't have a check for $100, a copy of a check.
But still,
I just
that wasn't
wanted
for.
to
That
figure out,
wasn't
to
for.
see what your answer would be.
Sure.
If you thought I had a copy of a check.
That's what it would have been for.
Oh, God. Must be smoking something real good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
$1,943.55 is what your Visa bill shows. Does very fancy footwork, Miss Pender. You're very lucky that whoever made the decision that this was not going to be a long-term relationship, whether it was you or whether it was him, whoever it was, you're very lucky.
Yes.
Earth to Mr. Crane. You
Yes.
can't pull the wool over everybody's eyes all the time, sir.
I'm sorry.
What
I
were
didn't pull the wool.
what were the interest charges since this purchase was made? His interest charges, we're going to give him credit for the $100, even though he now says it's for stamps.
And also lost wages because same time he moved, his company moved. And it took me 2 days to find out where they were.
That you're going to, listen, you're going to chalk that up to experience.
Okay.
All I want to know is the interest. It's $320.
She had a business card all along.
$21.63, right?
Got there.
That's what I got there. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,163.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next,
Parties on Rice versus Gardner. Step forward, please.
18-year-old Audra Sullivan Rice is suing Sarah Gardner, the editor of their high school yearbook, because she says out of jealousy, Sarah deliberately used an ugly photo for her senior portrait.
Order. All rise. Quiet, please.
Now, this is case number 268 on the calendar in the matter of Rice versus Gardner. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, please, sir.
You graduated from high school.
Correct.
You were in charge of the high school yearbook,
Correct. The senior section.
where they put all the pictures of the seniors, and underneath it, you know, most likely to succeed, most likely to have 10 children before 30th birthday, those little things, right? And Miss Rice, you claim in this lawsuit, where you're asking for $3,500, that the defendant caused a very ugly picture of you to be placed in the yearbook. Not the picture you had selected.
Correct.
And that's because the two of you had some sort of a history together.
Correct.
So tell me about it.
She disliked me due to my relationship with her now ex-boyfriend, who's my witness. And she was very jealous, and this is a very malicious and dishonest thing to do. And
let me see the picture that she put of you in the yearbook.
this is the picture that was supposed to be in there, and if you notice, it says yearbook selection on the back. And I verified that with the photography studio.
Oh, that's not such a bad picture in there.
My eyes are half shut. It's not the point that it's like a horrible picture, it's the point that everybody that turns to that picture is going to see me and remember me as that. And that's not what I want. And that wasn't what I asked for.
Well, first of all, I'm glad that I looked at it, because I was really picturing something that looked like Quasimodo based upon what you wrote in your complaint. I mean, you're a very pretty young lady. It would be very hard to make you look ugly. I want to tell you something. Truth of the matter is, I sort of like this one better than this one, but that's just my own personal taste. Let's find out what the defense is for putting the picture that she had not selected in the yearbook, Miss Gardner.
Okay. There's about 300 senior pictures that were in my charge. What was supposed to happen is that seniors were supposed to specify which picture they wanted in the yearbook.
Show her the back of that picture.
Either
They were to call their photo company.
No.
Right.
She did that. She did everything she was supposed to do. Miss Gardner, I want you to look at me and tell me whether, when you selected that picture for her, did you get a stack of them from the photographer?
Yes, we got a whole box of envelopes.
Okay. That you took any special care in selecting her picture?
No. There were 3 other individuals that worked with me the first day. Turi, who was my witness, worked with me on the first day, and then there were 2 other individuals who helped me.
You worked with her?
Yes.
Step up here.
And what we did is that the seniors that did specify which picture they wanted,
She did that.
Right. The numbers that did indicate, we pulled those pictures. And
Hers
then,
did.
And then the 3/4 of the seniors who did not specify, we were advised by Mr. Sonamaker to pick the top photo from each envelope.
Okay, but she picked which photo she wanted. It's on the back of her photo, that's the one she picked.
If Mr. Sonamaker had a meeting with her and she specified, he did not let me know. We did divide up the pictures between me and the other 3 individuals that worked with me, and since we were working very fast, no, I don't know who handled Audra's picture.
Do you remember who handled her picture?
No, I going through, it takes you about 2 minutes to do each one, and you don't even look at their names really. You just look to see if the barcode was there. And
now, Miss Rice, other than the fact that you have a history with Miss Gardner over you.
Correct. In which...
What other evidence do you have that she purposely picked the wrong picture to put in your yearbook?
Okay, this is what
here we go.
The process I went through.
I know the process you went through. You picked the right picture. You put the right thing on the back. Just tell me what proof you have that she purposely selected the wrong picture. Do you know?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Just a minute.
Your Honor, on the last day of school, she was pestering me to get me to sign her yearbook.
Who was?
Miss Gardner. And she said that, did you see Audra's picture? And I said, yeah. And she laughed hysterically as if to say that she did it herself. She said, ha, 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 did you see how funny it looked?
So she just laughed and said, did you see her picture? Don't tell me as if yours in your mind. What she said was, did you see Audra's picture? And she laughed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you do that?
No, I did not. I would like to add that...
Just a minute.
Okay, sorry.
Sure you did. Sure you did. That's exactly what you said to him. Don't give me a lot of baloney.
Can I please add something?
Add it.
Okay, I did not say that to him. I do feel that...
What did you say to him? I'm not interested in what you feel. What did you say to him?
Actually, from what I remember, there was a lot of goofing off. There was other people there. Jacob did run into a fellow who did want to fight him.
What do you remember about the picture?
What do I remember about the picture?
About the conversation about the picture.
There was no conversation about a picture. I feel that he's not a credible witness. I do have a restraining order against this gentleman.
You do?
Yes.
Can I see
right
it?
here?
I also have notes that she wrote displaying her disgust for Audra. This is going to be a quote directly from Sarah. I saw Audra at lunch, and if it weren't for my heavy bag and a cigarette, her ass would have been down. She continues to say about how upset she is, and then she says, I don't really mind. It's not you that I care about and don't want to hurt, it's them.
Let me see the restraining order. Curious about this. He looks like butter would melt in his mouth, right? Why did you get an order of protection against him?
I was being stalked. There were times when he's tried to strangle me. Coming to my house late at night, I felt very unsafe.
And you had a hearing on this, a trial?
Yes, I did.
Were you represented by an attorney at this trial?
He did not show up.
I was in Utah.
What were you doing in Utah?
I went on a road trip with my parents.
You mean you knew you had a court date and you didn't show up? That requires an answer, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
That was pretty stupid. That was pretty stupid. How old are you?
18.
Did you tell your parents you had a court date?
Yeah, when we were in Utah.
Oh, the more I spend time with you, the more I love my children.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I believe, no matter what you tell me, that you selected a picture of her different from the one that she had selected just to give her an old zinger.
And later today,
Well, he didn't give us much of a chance really to get out of the way. He used his car as a battering ram.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 18-year-old Audra Sullivan Rice is suing her classmate and editor of their high school yearbook, Sarah Gardner, claiming Sarah deliberately selected an ugly photo for her senior portrait. Sarah claims it wasn't her job to pick the photos.
The picture of you in the yearbook isn't terrible. As a matter of fact, I think I like it a little bit better than the one you selected. I do, however, think that there was some design to get that picture in there. It just seems too coincidental to me that she's in charge of the yearbook, she can't stand you, you pick a picture and a different picture goes in there, right? And there's all just too much coincidence that doesn't sit comfortably with me. But if she picked the wrong picture, truth of the matter is, I think she picked a better one. So I don't think you should be that discouraged. Okay. And Miss Gardner, there's a certain thing about misusing your authority. If anything, you should have been far more careful about selecting her picture as making sure it was the right picture.
Right, but there was no specification.
Oh, yes, there was. You keep saying there was no specification, and I'm telling you.
There were a lot of seniors who did come to my attention that they did specifically pick a picture, and then they
Look at the back of the picture. Would you hands on the picture? I don't want them to touch each other. Right? What does that say back there?
Actually, I did not.
I didn't ask you what you see. I asked you what it said back there.
Yearbook selection.
Okay. Bottom line is, I believe, no matter what you tell me, that you selected a picture of her different from the one that she had selected just to give her an old zinger. The fact that you happen to have picked one that wasn't terrible and that I really think is much nicer is really not the issue. It's not, you're not damaged $3,500 worth, madam.
What I wanted to
You're
do
not damaged $3,000 by this photograph. You're damaged maybe a lesson. So what's a lesson? Lesson is $100, Bird.
That's good.
$100 for the plaintiff, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
Parties on Gorman versus Siemens. Step forward, please.
23-year-old printer Rolanda Davis says she loaned her car to neighbor Rhonda Davis, and it came back damaged. Rhonda claims in her countersuit she owes her money for a missing gold ring.
Order. All rise.
Yeah, this is case number 240 on the calendar in the matter of Davis versus Davis. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
I'm going to try to make this rather complicated case as simple as I can. You are not related to each other, even though you have the same last name.
No.
You are neighbors.
Yes.
She borrowed your car.
Yes, she did.
And it was involved in some sort of a traffic accident, and it was damaged.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And you want her to pay for the damage to the car.
Yes, I do.
She says that while you were babysitting for her, jewelry was stolen from her house. So she's countersuing you for the jewelry. She said, therefore, she doesn't have to pay for the car. Is that this case?
Yes, it is.
So at least we have one thing that's a given. You damaged her car.
Yes.
Now, in what month, date and month, did you damage her car? And you don't know this right off the top?
July 12th, Your Honor.
No, I don't.
July 12th is when you borrowed the car.
Yes.
How was it damaged? Tell me.
I was damaged on the on the driver's door.
And how did you do that?
I didn't do it. A car hit her car while I was parked.
So she says, Your Honor.
Whatever, you weren't there.
Right.
But it was damaged while it was in your control.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's not covered by insurance.
No, it's not.
Why did you let her borrow your car?
Because she asked me if she can borrow my car to go to the grocery store.
That's not true.
And I said, do you have a driver's license? And she said yes. And I let her drive my car. When she left, my car was a brand new car.
I understand that. She's acknowledging that the car was damaged while it was under her control. Did you have a driver's license?
No, I did not.
Why? Why did you use her car without having a driver's license?
She sent her daughter to come get me, to go to Lucky's, to go get some milk and cereal for her daughter because she was sick.
Your Honor.
I did her a favor.
Your Honor. She asked me to use my car. The first question I asked her, before I even answered her, was, do you have a driver's license?
That's not true.
She said yes.
Shh. Just a second. Did you have insurance?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Well, I had got the car in May, and I moved in June. I guess my insurance papers, from what the car dealership told me, went to my old address. Being that I didn't get them in time, they pinned it because I only had it a month after I got my car.
They're all, so far you both sound very responsible. No insurance, no driver's license. It's a perfect match.
Okay.
All right. Now, when allegedly was this jewelry stolen and how? What month?
It was stolen August 23rd.
All right. 8/23. Now, between July 12th when the car was damaged and August 23rd, why didn't you pay her for the damage?
Because, for one thing, when after the accident had happened, okay, I came straight to Rolanda and I said, Rolanda, someone had hit your car. We came out, we looked at the car. She said, Rhonda, don't worry about it. It's not that much damage. It could have happened to me if I'd have had your car. She said, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Come on now.
All right. And so
that was it, okay? August 23rd was my birthday. We needed a babysitter.
Just a minute. So are you telling me that between July 12th, when our car was damaged, and August 23rd, there was no other discussion about paying for the car?
None. None.
Okay. You say there was?
Yes, there was.
When was there?
When she came back, when she pulled back into the parking lot, and I came outside and seen my car, and I'm just shaking my head, and she was like, Rolanda, I'm going to help you fix your car. She said she's been knowing people who can fix my car, Your Honor. She said she's been knowing people, and I'll come to her door, I'll ask for some time. I'll be like, have you talked to someone?
No,
and she'll be like, yeah, I know somebody who will fix the car.
Okay.
You know, and then she got mad one night and was like, I'm not going to fix your car.
Who are you?
I'm her witness and roommate. We live together. When she was at the store, I was at Rolanda's house sitting, waiting for her because the store is not very far from where we stay at. Okay, when she came back, all three of us walked out where the car is parked at in front of our apartment building, and we looked at the car. You know, I was looking like, where's the dent, you know? And it was very small, like maybe if someone opened their door and maybe hit the car or something like that, that's what it looked like. To me, it wasn't major
I'm going to see pictures of it. I assume the pictures are here.
It wasn't major at all.
My pictures to prove that they're not little itty-bitty dents.
I have pictures,
I have
too.
I have some damages that...
Just a shut.
Okay.
That's certainly not an itty-bitty dent.
No, and that wasn't the dent that was in that car. Neither. Her car had been hit 3 times since that accident.
Well, when did you take pictures of it?
Maybe about 2 weeks ago when I knew that she was following this.
Just a second. 2 weeks ago this happened? 3
July
months
the
ago?
12th, Your Honor.
Yes, but
My
I didn't know she was going to file no suit against me or anything like this.
When were these pictures taken?
Those pictures were taken 3 days ago.
3 days ago?
3 days ago.
Not interested in these pictures?
Well,
I want to see the estimate.
Okay. I have
right
an estimate,
after
Your
July
Honor.
12th.
I have an estimate, Your Honor, proving how much my driver's door does not open. My window is broken.
That window was in that car.
It has been rain in my car, the door. I mean, it's rain, it's mildew stains inside of my car.
Your husband
Just a
broke
minute.
the window.
Hey! This damage report is 2.5 months after this incident.
Yes. Okay. Your Honor, I'm telling the guys all the truth. She damaged my car.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You copped an attitude, which I have a feeling you can do very easily, and you said, I'm not doing that.
And later today,
Whoever made the decision that this was not going to be a long-term relationship, whether it was you or whether it was him, whoever it was, you're very lucky.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rolanda Davis says after she loaned her car to her neighbor, 36-year-old Rhonda Davis, she returned it with extensive damage. Rhonda admits the car was wrecked, but says Rolanda stole a gold ring from her home, making them even.
She acknowledges she damaged your car. You do not have an estimate within a day, a two, a week after the accident.
Right.
$1,500 is practically what they charge just to look at a car. One of these car doctors, they come out in a white coat and they look at it. The looking costs $1,500. So we're not talking about a lot of money. The damage that you caused to the car was at least probably $1,500.
Yes.
If they have to pull it out, they have to repaint it, they have to buff it out. You agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So $1,500 she's entitled to for the car. Now, you have to prove to me that she took your jewelry. Prove it.
Only way that I can prove it is that when we got ready to leave, when I got to the club, Jocelyn noticed that my jewelry was gone. What I did, I immediately got on the phone. I called Rolanda. I dialed my number. Rolanda answered my phone. She said, hello. I said, Rolanda, this is Rhonda. First thing I said, how's the kids? She said, everything okay. I said, Rolanda, I left my rings on top of the TV. Can you please go get them for the kids won't mess with them? She said, okay. I said, I'm going to hold on until you do this, I was holding on the phone. Whether Rolanda went in my room to check to see was the rings there or not, I was holding on. She came back to the phone. She said, okay, I got them. I said, okay, everything's okay? She said, yes. I hung up the phone. When I returned home, I say approximately maybe about 2:30, close to 2:45. Immediately as I walked in my door, I seen my table, the glass was broke, Then Rolanda said, the window in the room is broke. I said, the room window. So I goes in the room and I pulls the curtain back. The whole window was busted out, A family heirloom that I had from my grandmother that's passed, that was broke, My rings was missing, all in one night.
Okay. What happened?
She called. And she did tell me that her ring was somewhere in her room. She did say that she would hold while I go in the room. I did not go in that room because I didn't want to be responsible for nothing coming up
Just
missing.
a second.
Okay.
Stop you right there.
All right.
She called. She said, I'll hold on.
I sat the phone down.
Just a second.
Okay.
She said, I'll hold on while you go inside and get my rings because I don't want the kids. That's what she said to you.
Right.
And you did what?
And I sat the phone down and sat there. I did not come back and reply to her, I got them.
Yes, you did.
Oh, sure you did.
Yes, you did. That's what it really
sure you did.
Holding on.
Okay.
No, that's why I was, oh, excuse me.
No.
Excuse me.
Oh, sure you did.
She is lying. No, I did not. My mother is right here.
Let me tell you why you did. Let me tell you why you did. Because it doesn't make sense. It's not logical for you to have then walked back and said, I don't have the rings. I'm sorry. You put the phone down. You said, going to wait a couple of minutes. You picked the phone up. You said, got him.
I didn't say got him.
What did you say?
I told her I was not going in her room because I wasn't going to be responsible.
No, you didn't.
That's what I said.
Oh, you did. Please,
I didn't
give me a
leave
break.
out that living room.
Give.
Your Honor,
You got
that
my
is
rings.
the truth. I didn't leave out the living room.
Oh, I believe it.
I stayed
How you
right
know the
next door
bedroom
to
window
her.
was
Listen
broke?
to me. Listen to me.
Okay.
Either way,
Okay.
you're responsible. She's absolutely right. Either way, you're responsible. She called you.
That's what I
You were
did.
babysitting for her children. She said, I left my rings. Please go inside and secure them. Instead of doing that, you copped an attitude, which I have a feeling you can do very easily, and you said, I'm not doing that. You took the phone, put it down, waited a minute, picked it up and said, I got them.
That's what she did.
No, I didn't, Your Honor.
Sure you did. Tell me what rings were missing.
This is the rings right here. I have the things from the rings and everything. They're not even finished paying for. Here's everything for the rings. It's the ones that's
entered a room at all.
That's
That's your problem.
circled.
Then you lied.
Here's
No,
my
I didn't.
stuff.
Oh, sure you did.
For my table.
Oh, sure you
I
did.
got
How?
the window fixed, but not the table.
How,
but
Your
this
Honor?
is
How did you lie?
Yeah.
You lied because you told her I got the rings.
No,
Here
I
we go,
didn't.
right
Oh, I
never
believe you
told her
did.
that.
Listen, I may be wrong. I was wrong once in 1950. I don't remember what it was, but I'm sure I was wrong
And
once
this
in
day
1950.
too, Your Honor, because I didn't say
Be
that to her.
quiet.
Judge Judy is ready to rule. And later today,
You are so full of baloney.
Am I?
You are so full of baloney. But you're a very quick thinker.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
This case is going to turn out to be a wash, you know. Because I believe that you should have paid for the car, for the damage to the car. I believe that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Miss Attitude over here decided that she was tired of asking you to pay for the car and made things sort of even. Your lawsuit is dismissed. Your countersuit is dismissed because they're just for about the same amount of money. The loss of the rings, the damage to her car, it's a wash.
With me.
That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back, go to your right, please.
And now the next case.
Parties on Penda versus Crane. Step forward, please. Forward, please.
35-year-old housewife Cynthia Bettis is suing 35-year-old Mike Stipke, claiming he broke a table when he fell over in a drunken stupor at her daughter's birthday party. Mr. Stipke is countersuing for his medical bills.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 269 on the calendar in the matter of Bettis versus Stipke. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, please. Have a seat.
You had a birthday party at your house for your daughter Nicole
And Christina.
and Christina.
We also celebrated 2 other children's birthday at that time.
And according to this complaint, one of the other children who was celebrating a birthday was the daughter of a friend of yours
Yes.
who brought this gentleman to the party.
Yes.
So you came, sir, as an invited guest
Yes, ma'am.
of this lady?
Yes.
Let's see how smart I am. Your claim is that while he was at the party, he was drunk?
Yes.
And he destroyed some furniture.
Yes.
Were you drunk?
No, ma'am. I had 3 or 4 beers at the most. They had other people drinking. Her sister and her husband were also drinking the beer.
Who cares about a sister and her brother? They didn't break furniture.
No, they did not.
Well, why'd you go to the birthday party and drink?
Nah, I just had a few beers.
Uh-huh. Why don't you tell me, sir, how it came about that you broke this furniture? Describe what happened to me, if you remember.
Diane had threw a piece of ice up to me.
Just a second. Diane, that's you.
Right.
Stand up there, Diane, because I found that interesting. So she threw what at
A piece of ice up in the air.
Ice.
Ice.
Where were you standing at this time?
On the patio.
On the patio.
Describe how you threw a piece of ice. How far were you standing apart?
3 feet.
Well, move over another foot.
I felt like this.
About that far?
And
you, what were you doing? Your hands weren't behind your back, sir. What were you doing? You're holding a beer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Make like you're holding a beer, right? All right.
And a cigarette.
And you're, what?
And a cigarette in the other hand.
Cigarette in the other hand?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Make like a cigarette in the other hand. Now, Diane, show me what you were doing.
I just tossed a piece of ice up.
An ice cube?
Yes. It was out of the ice chest. Actually, it was out of my cup, but Mike lifted his head up, and he stepped
No, just
back.
you're going to show me. Toss the ice. Go ahead. Toss it. Go.
And when I went back, I hit the end of the table and went down and then busted my head open on a toy chest.
Just a second. I'm not interested with your head. I'm interested in the table. Right? You broke the table.
The end piece, yeah.
The end piece of the table.
Right.
Because you were acting like a fool at a children's birthday party. He had 3 or 4 beers. She's throwing ice cubes at you, and you're catching them in your mouth, right? And I say this to you, sir, because To add insult to injury, you filed a countersuit in this case. You're suing her because you fell and broke your head and split your head open. What does that have to do with her? But what does that have to do with her?
That was her house, and I was on her property, and I went through pain and suffering through the deal.
So whose fault was that?
It was my fault.
So what are you suing her for?
For the pain and suffering I went through.
Why is your pain and suffering her problem? If you get listen to me, sir. If you get out of bed in the middle of the night, right, to go to the bathroom, and you stub your toe on a chair, and you break your toe, do you sue the chair manufacturer? Huh?
No.
No. Now, the table didn't have 3 or 4 beers and move. Right?
No.
So I'm really trying to understand what was in your mind when you filed this countersuit. Her lawsuit, I understand.
Okay.
Okay. That was easy.
Okay.
That was easy. Okay. Is that pretty much what happened?
In general, yes. We offered to call 911 or take him to the hospital. He refused.
You were
No,
being...
no, that is not true.
Doesn't make any difference. I want to know about the table.
Okay. Basically, the table was broke on one side, and he broke a chair.
So did you have it fixed? Were you able to repair it?
We tried to get it fixed. They were not able to fix the table and the
How
chair.
did he break a chair?
He was sitting in it, and when he leant over to get a beer off the table, he broke the chair.
He broke the... Well, that happened before the table.
Right.
You remember that?
No, there was no chair broken, no.
You don't remember a broken chair?
No.
There was not a chair broken.
How was it broken? You have a picture of it?
Yes, we do. It's basically just a little metal hinge that fits into the grooves of the side of the chair. It's a folding chair, little wooden folding chair. And
so did you fix the folding chair?
No, there's nowhere to fix the metal piece.
Did the party continue on after this happened with this fall?
Once they left, the party did end, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
He fell backwards, and I came watching over there, and Mommy and Mommy's friend and Diane, they tried to doctor him, but they rushed him to the hospital.
Thank you. Did you have a good time at your birthday party? Hmm? You didn't. Why not? Why not? It's okay. You can tell me. Oh. Tell me your name. No, she's all right. She's all right. I won't ask her any more questions.
Thank you.
Evidently, she didn't have such a good time at the birthday party.
No. She does not want me to throw any more parties for her again because of what happened.
Why?
Because basically she seen him walking around drunk and fall down and shed blood all over at her birthday party.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I was told they were going to pay $50 each Sunday. I did not get any money, so I took matters into my own hands.
And later today,
I certainly wouldn't make damage in broad daylight with a neighbor walking outside in the street.
The police were there, and he fled.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 35-year-old Cynthia Bettis says Mike Stipke ruined her daughter's birthday party when he got drunk and broke a table. Mike says it was all an accident and is countersuing for medical bills.
How much was the table worth?
About $200.
Okay.
I have a letter from the lady who owns the table.
You borrowed the table from somebody else?
My in-laws did. They borrowed the table for the party.
Okay, well, it has to be replaced. And you have to pay for it. Don't be foolish.
I did offer to pay for it.
So then what are we doing here?
I asked for the money to be delivered, $50 every Sunday, and they agreed upon it, and it never came through.
I offered to write her a check in the whole full amount and have Mike pay me back because I live 3 blocks from him.
So? I never got that offer.
She says, I'm going away for the weekend. I'll call you when I get back. We'll make arrangements to happen. She didn't call.
Why don't you just drop off the check?
Why did I go over there? She made it clear she didn't want me over there.
Why don't you just send the check in the mail? Say, I'm sorry this happened. Sorry
I
for
am
the
sorry it
birthday
happened,
party.
and I made that quite clear to her.
All right. Well, it's a very unfortunate circumstance. Sir, you understand that you're owed $200. That's for the table. I mean, little girls who had a birthday party, one of them had a good time. The older one didn't. She probably understands a little bit more about what was going on. Certainly, you know that your countersuit has absolutely no merit. If you act like a fool, sometimes you get hurt. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $200.
Do I get the table?
Do you get the table?
Yes.
No, you get the judgment.
Okay.
Parties are excused. Step out.
Thank you. What a jerk.
Back to your right, please.
It was an accident and it happened. I'm sorry that I broke the table.
Thank you. I'd like you to apologize to the kids that you ruined their party.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
And now the next case.
Parties on Oakray versus Engler. Step forward, please.
ATM saleswoman Marlene Opray is suing her business associate Roger Engler, charging he vandalized her car. Roger says she's retaliating against him over a business deal gone bad.
All right, Miss Opray, you claim that the defendant vandalized your car.
Yes.
By keying it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why would he do such a thing?
As retaliatory for not working with me any longer.
Well, tell me about that.
We just had a court case in San Francisco about 2.5 weeks ago to where he tried to say I owed him a sum of money for the month of June.
He was an employee of yours?
No, he was a self-contractor only if he were to sell ATM machines.
Okay, so he was an independent contractor.
Yes, Your Honor.
So he sued you last month.
And he lost because he didn't produce, he didn't make one sale.
Whatever. He lost.
That's right.
When was the car vandalized?
August 25th.
And when was the court case?
October 7th.
So the car was vandalized before the court case?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Did you report it vandalized?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Where was it vandalized? Tell me about it.
It was in my carport. My daughter saw him do it, and this is Linda, my daughter. Hi. And the police came immediately after he had done this, and he fled. If he hadn't done it, why would he flee from the police?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I have to tell you what he said in our last court case on October 7th when I told him I had 2 witnesses 2 weeks ago. And he says, nobody saw me do it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. ATM saleswoman Marlene Opray says her former business associate Roger Engler keyed her car, causing severe damage. Roger denies he did anything wrong.
You say, your mother says at least, that you actually observed him.
Yes, I did.
Tell me what you saw.
Your Honor, he came to the house around 8:30 or 9 in the morning. I answered the door, and this gentleman was at my mom's door. He asked if Marlene Opray was there. I asked who he was. He did not want to leave a name with me. I seen he had a white envelope in his hand. I said I was her daughter. I would be more glad to give it to her, and he refused to give it to me. So I shut the door. I went in, I told my mom, she was in the shower at the time. My mom asked him to come back in 30 minutes, asked what he looked like, and this night I described him. She couldn't place him. So I went back and I told this gentleman. He wasn't too happy about it. He said he had come a long distance to give this to my mother. And I says, well, like I said, if you want to come back in 30 minutes. I shut my door. I went into my room. Not even 2 minutes later, I heard a screeching noise outside. It's right outside my bedroom window. There's a carport. My car was parked there as well as my mother's. I didn't have any clothes on because I answered the door. I was in my pajamas. I opened it up halfway. I went to go put my pants on to run out there to see what he was doing. He was kneeling down on the other side of my mom's car on the right rear tire. So I got my pants on. I ran out there. At that time, this gentleman was pulling away. I ran out after him. He kept going. He did see me. I saw him look in his rearview mirror. There was another gentleman walking in the park there where we live. He said this gentleman had parked there for a while there.
You can't tell me what the other gentleman said. So you actually saw him kneeling against your mother's car?
Yes, I did.
You did not actually see him scratch your mother's car?
I seen him kneeling there. I heard a noise.
You heard a noise,
Yes.
and you saw him kneeling near the car?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Had you parked the car there the evening before?
Yes, I did.
And when you parked the car there, can you describe its condition to me?
It was good. I mean,
What
I'd
kind of a
been
car is it?
driving all day. I had not been out of the car. I'd been on a long trip. And I parked there about 11:30 at night. And, Your Honor, we have security at the park, so nobody came in.
Do you have pictures of the car?
Yes, I do.
May I see it, please?
Yes. Mm.
All right, Mr. Ringler, I'll hear you, sir.
Okay. It's a nice story. Mostly none of it was true, but that's a nice story. Number one, we were partners. I had letters that showed that we were business partners. We had gone on a number of trips together. We were supposed to share income and so on.
I'm not interested in the other lawsuit, sir.
No, I
you
understand.
lost the other lawsuit.
I'm just giving background. She owed me money. She kept on promising she was going to pay money. And then all of a sudden she was disappearing and she wasn't returning calls. And she wasn't returning calls. We had been for 3 months on the phone every single day, once, twice, sometimes 3 times a day, many times.
I'm not interested in that. You went to her house at 8:30 in the morning.
No,
for what purpose?
First of all, it was 9:30 in the morning.
9:30.
Okay, there was.
For what purpose?
For what purpose? I went to give her a letter in her hand saying we dissolved the partnership between us, and that's what I went to deliver. Her daughter came to the door. She was dressed. The door was open. She said, who are you? And I said, I just came here to give your mother a piece of paper. She said, let me go back and find out. She came back and she said, my mother's in the shower. Can you come back in 30 minutes? There was a gentleman walking in the street that we exchanged pleasantries. That was the extent of it.
Can I see the police report, please?
Yes, ma'am.
As far as I can see, is simply retaliation. It's whatever she can do. Nothing to do with me.
I see the police were called, sir, on that day, on the 25th of August. So it's clearly not retaliatory because you evidently did not proceed in court until October. Your judgment wasn't until October, the judgment dismissing your suit. She made this complaint the very day of the incident.
Okay. First of all, her car has had many damages on it that she's never repaired. I can't testify as to what scratches and things she had on the car or why she did what she did.
This is a key mark, sir.
Okay, but it could have been there. I mean,
this is a key mark.
It was not there.
Here.
Okay.
Show him.
It was not there.
Okay, it's a key mark. You know, but that doesn't mean that I had anything to do with it. It could have been there. I could tell you that she had damages on her car that she's never repaired, and she's using it as an excuse. You know, if it was vandalism, as she claims, then in fact, from what I understand, it's a criminal act. Why didn't the police come, call me, do whatever they want, arrest me? There's no logic.
Your Honor.
Let's see. Just a second. You were given information on how to get a temporary restraining order against him. Did you do that?
No, I didn't because I left on a long cruise. And like the police department said, if you're gone, I went all the way up to Alaska and Canada. There was no sense in getting a restraining order. I was going to be gone.
For how long?
I was gone for 12 days.
Mm-hmm.
The cruise was before I even went there. The reason I know that is because one of her customers I had spoken to her and called me. The cruise was before.
Yeah. What kind of business are you in, sir?
I'm in the ATM business. I sell ATM, cash dispensers, credit card processing, and so on. I was never an employee of hers. I was never a contract laborer of hers. I had my own company. She approached me to be a partner with her and hers.
I just asked you, shh. Have you ever been arrested?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
When?
2 years ago.
For what?
It was considered insurance fraud at the time. Mm-hmm. Although it was my own property. It was my own property that was stolen, and it was a nonsense thing, but that's how it was.
And you were convicted?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Is that your first arrest, sir?
No.
When's the arrest just prior to that?
That was a case that was dropped on an advertising program that was eventually dropped.
Mm-hmm. How long was your probation on the insurance fraud?
2 years.
When is your probation up?
Oh, it was up before I came to California.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
This is not a criminal case. Criminal case, the burden of proof is proof by beyond a reasonable doubt that an act was committed. The quantum of proof in a civil case, and this is a civil case, is more evidence than not, what we call a preponderance of the credible evidence that an event occurred. So I must make a determination based upon common sense and based upon what I've heard, whether I am satisfied by a preponderance of the credible evidence, that is more evidence than not, that you did in fact key her car. I'm satisfied. So you have the estimates for the damage?
Yes, and it's already been taken care of.
$1,241.25 is what you paid to have the car repainted on both sides. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,241. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next...
Jason Chandler sat on the couch looking at his phone not long before he received a call from Karen, his wife of almost 10 years earlier that day. His private investigator told him that she and her lover had just boarded a plane to Honolulu. He knew they planned to spend a week there, although she told him something completely different. This was just the latest in a long line of lies and bad decisions on her part. He wondered how he could be so stupid and blind. For almost 10 years he had given everything to build a life with Karen, but now it was all gone. He took another sip of his coffee and leaned back. Closing his eyes, he thought about the past decade. He met Karen 13 years ago in college. They both studied at the business faculty and were in the same study group. This led to them starting dating. They eventually fell in love and got married. After graduation, he went to work for his father, who owned a chain of successful tire stores throughout the state. He always worked for his father, spending his summer holidays in one of the many stores his father owned. Sometimes he worked in the workshop, replacing tires and brakes. He sometimes worked as a courier, delivering tires and parts to local stores. As a result, he learned a lot about business. After college, his father persuaded him to work at the headquarters in the accounting department. Over the years, Jason had proven he could handle any task and was now head of the accounting department, working directly under Mike Allen, the CFO, who was about to retire in a couple of years. Jason knew it was his father's dream to pass the company on to him when he retired, and he knew that when Mike left, he would be promoted to his position. Meanwhile, Karen got a job as a real estate agent. After the wedding, she went to school and received a license to sell real estate. She was damn good at her job and made good money even in tougher years when the market wasn't doing its best. They had a good life, or so he thought. They saved and were able to buy a nice house in the suburbs. Each had a decent, almost new car, and from the outside it seemed that they had a strong family. They didn't have children, which upset him more than her. Now he thought it was a blessing in disguise. In the beginning, Karen said she had problems with her tubes, so she got them tied. He consoled her and suggested that she consider adoption, but Karen rejected the idea. Eventually, he accepted the idea that they would never have children, but over the past year, several events have happened that make him think that something is happening, something that will change his relationship with Karen forever. For starters, Karen began spending more time with the girls than ever before. He never objected to her spending time with her friends, knowing how stressful her job was, but the four nightly fun hour, which used to last until 7 o'clock p.m., has become a 2 or 3 time weekly event, and depending on the day of the week, she might not get home until midnight or later. Jason was unhappy about this and expressed his displeasure, but she brushed him off, saying that there was a lot of stress at work and she needed to relax a little. "And what are you doing before midnight?" he asked her one evening when she returned home, her hair disheveled and her clothes smelling cigarette smoke. "Oh, we just had a couple of cocktails," she said. "Sometimes we can dance if we want." "Look, Jace, it's none of your business. I'm a grown woman and I don't need you to tell me what to do, so leave it at that." "Okay." Jason looked at her, shocked. She had never spoken to him like that before. Seeing the expression on his face, she softened. "Sorry, Jace," she said. "I didn't mean to yell at you. There's just a lot of pressure at work because of the market. You've dealt with tough times in the market before and it didn't bother you," he said. "What's different this time? You have no idea how hard it is. Sometimes," she said, "the competition is getting tougher and management is putting more pressure on us to sell properties." "I understand, honey," he said, "but don't take it out on me. I'm on your side, remember?" She smiled and hugged him. "You're right, honey," she said. "Please accept my apologies." "Okay, I accept," he said, "but please take a shower or something." "No offense, but you smell like an ashtray." "Sorry," she said, "there were a lot of smokers in the club. I'll go take a shower." He went to bed and was already asleep when she came to bed. There were other changes over the next few months. Their sex life has sharply declined. They used to make love 3 to 4 times a week. That dropped to twice a week and then once every 2 weeks if he was lucky. To make matters worse, her attitude towards him had changed. She used to always be interested in his work and his hobbies. Now it seemed like she didn't care what he said. And then there was the day he caught her outright lying. One day he decided to stop by her office to invite her to lunch, but when he arrived there, he was told that she had left to show the property that evening. When Karen returned home from whatever she was doing with the girls, he asked her about her day. "I was in the office all day," she said. "I had a lot of paperwork, so I took a sandwich from the machine." Jason was shocked. She lied to his face. As far as he knew, this was the first time she had lied to him. He thought about pressing her, but decided not to. In her condition, she would probably throw a tantrum, and he was too tired to handle it. He began to wonder how many times she had lied to him. Later that night, as they lay in bed, he rolled over and looked at her. She saw the concern on his face. "What's wrong, Jace?" she asked. "I'm worried," he said. "About what?" She asked. "About us," he said. "I feel like we are moving away from each other. Do you still love me?" "Of course I do, darling," she said, hugging him. "You know that, right?" "Honestly, I don't know," he said. "I don't remember the last time you said that to me, and it's been a long time since we had sex. It seems you are no longer at home then." "At home? Sorry," she said. "It's just pressure at work. I love you. Please believe me. Can you start showing me this a little more?" he asked. "Of course, honey," she said, kissing his face. They made love that night, and Jason felt better, but was still worried. Things went back to normal for a month or so, but the same pattern began repeat itself. "What the hell is going on?" he asked himself once again. This became clear to him the day his longtime friend Ron Green called him, asking if he could get away for a while. "Sure, I can meet you for a beer," Jason said. "What's happened?" "Can't tell over the phone," Ron said, "but it's important." "Okay," Jason said. "Meet me at 5:30 if that suits you." They ended the call and Jason met Ron at the bar. That evening, Jason wasn't too worried about being late since Karen was almost always out until 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock p.m. Sometimes later. "Okay, buddy," Jason said, sipping his beer. "Spit it out. What's happening?" Ron began. "I saw your wife today while I was doing my business." "Yes?" Jason asked. "She sells real estate. She was probably showing some property. I'm Sure, said Ron, but I never thought that. Selling real estate involved kissing and holding hands. What? Jason asked. Come on. Are you kidding? I wish I was kidding. Miggy said I was driving down Riverside Drive and saw your wife leaving the house with some man. They held hands and then kissed, and it wasn't just a peck on the cheek. He held her ass. At the same time, it can't be. Jason said, are you sure you're talking about my Karen? Ron pulled out his phone and showed Jason the photo. Of course it was Karen kissing the man who was holding her ass. Damn, Jason said quietly, handing the phone back. Can you email me this photo? Sure, Ron said, pressing a few buttons on the phone. And what are you going to do? Jason shook his head. I don't know, buddy. He said, things have been weird lately, but I never thought she could do something like that. I have a friend who works as a private investigator. Ron said, if you want, I can set you up with him. Come on, Jason said, I need to know what the hell is going on. They said goodbye and left the bar. Karen was in the kitchen when he returned home. This was something new. He thought, you're back early, he said, kissing her. I'm not complaining, by the way. She smiled and kissed him back. Where have you been? She asked. I had a beer with Ron, he said. I didn't expect you to be back so early, so I thought, why not? Is everything okay with your friend? She asked. Not really. Jason said he just found out that one of his friend's wives is cheating on her husband. About? She asked. Yes, Jason said. He saw her kissing and holding hands with some guy today. Jason thought he saw her flinch a little. Well, she said, maybe he's exaggerating too much. I don't know. Jason said, I'm just glad I don't have that problem again. It seemed to him that she flinched a little at these words. It would kill me if you ever did something like that to me. I would never do that to you, she said, hugging him. I love you too much. I'm glad to hear that, he said, kissing her beautiful face. So why are you back so early? Well, we have our annual company conference coming up, so I thought I'd start packing and want to spend the next night or two with you, since we'll be separated for a few days. She said, this year it's in Las Vegas. Where exactly? He asked. At the convention center, she said. We will all be staying at the Westgate Resort. I heard that this is a 4-star hotel. When are you leaving? He asked. Friday afternoon, she said. It was the day after tomorrow. Are you winning the award again this year? He asked. Always received awards as the best salesperson in the region. Probably, she said. They kissed again. Well then, he said, why don't I take you upstairs and congratulate you on another successful year? She smiled and took his hand. I thought you would never ask, she said. They spent the evening making love, but Jason had other things on his mind. Will she cheat on him this weekend? He asked himself. Listen, I have vacation time, he said. Why don't I take a couple of days and go with you? Maybe we can spend a week in Vegas, relax, and reconnect. Our 10-year anniversary is next week. You know, sounds fun, she said. But I will be so busy with seminars and meetings that we will hardly see each other. In addition, I am expected to immediately return to work after the conference. Look, why don't we celebrate our anniversary when I get back? I promise I will make it up to you, okay? He said. I'm counting on it. The next day, he contacted Ron and received the private investigator's name and number. He made an appointment for that day and went there before lunch. Good morning, Mr. Bang. Chandler, the older man said as Jason walked into his cluttered office. Nice to meet you, Ron said. You could call, please. Call me Jerry. How can I help? Jason explained the situation and talked about Karen's upcoming trip to Las Vegas. You say? Jerry asked. Do you think she's going to meet someone at the conference? I don't know, Jason said. Maybe. Well, I have connections there. Who? Owe me a favor or two, Jerry said. Listen, we'll keep an eye on her there, and if you want, we can put a camera and Microphone if you give me your room. Number it will cost more, you know. I thought so, Jason said, but I need to know the truth. Jerry pulled out a digital audio recorder and handed it to Jason. It's very easy to use, Jerry said. It's voice activated, so all you have to do is put it under her seat in the car and turn it on. You can pick it up later when she leaves. I'm guessing she'll leave her car at the airport. That's what she usually does. Jason said, great. Jerry said, don't worry. We've got it all covered. If she's really cheating, we'll know. By the way, here is my personal number in case you have any information. Call anytime. Thank you, Jason said, writing the check from his personal account rather than the general account. Both he and Karen had their own personal accounts, separate from the general account that was used to pay bills. They agreed on this many years ago, promising to contribute no more than 10% of their net income. So far, Jason has used his funds for clothes, incidentals, and gifts for car. He had been saving for a cruise, but now he was using the money for something else. That evening, Karen finished packing for her trip. Jason offered to carry her bags to the car, an offer she gladly accepted. That would be a big help, she said, kissing him. He carried the bags to her car, placing them in the trunk. He couldn't help but notice how much stuff she took with her. This was clearly more than needed for the weekend. When he put her travel bag in the trunk, he couldn't resist the urge to see what she took and opened the suitcase. He immediately noticed the container with her birth control pills. There are only 10 tablets left. Damn it, he thought, why is she on birth control pills? Didn't she say her tubes were tied, or was it another lie? He looked at the clothes she took. Some of the clothes seemed appropriate for a business meeting, but many of them looked like clubwear mini dresses he'd never seen before, and lacy lingerie. He also noticed a pair of very skimpy bikinis, one of which looked like a skimpy sling bikini that he had only seen online. What the hell is this meeting? He asked himself. He took out his phone and took photos. Opening her car door, he placed the audio recorder under her seat and made sure it was on. He then closed the car doors and made sure everything was locked. They made love that night, perhaps, Jason thought, for the last time as husband and wife. The next breakfast, Karen gave him her room number and promised to call him every night. I love you, she said, kissing his cheek. I love you too, he said. He watched her drive away. When he got to work, he called Jerry and gave him her room number. Great, Jerry said, thank you. I will immediately put my people on this matter. After lunch, Karen called him saying that she was at the airport getting ready to take off. I'll call when I check into the hotel, she said. I would be grateful, he said. Remember, I love you. I love you too, baby, she said. I'll miss you. Of course you will. You lying, underscore, he thought sarcastically. I miss you too, he said. Instead, after finishing the call, he saw his father standing at the door. Is everything okay, son? He asked. You look like your dog died. I don't know, Dad, Jason said. His father entered the ice office and closed the door. Is everything okay at home? Do you want to talk about it? Asked the father. Jason knew better than to try to hide anything from his father, so he told him everything he knew. So far, that doesn't sound very good, son, said the father. I would never suspect her of cheating me too, Dad, Jason said. Listen, if there's anything me or Mom can do, let me know, the older man said. We're here for you. Thanks, Dad, Jason said. I appreciate it. Jason left work a couple of hours early and drove to the airport to find Karen's car. He found her in a short-term parking lot and took out an audio recorder. Looking around, he noticed that the rest of the car was clean as Karen always kept it on his way home. Karen called him. Hey, baby, she said. I Just wanted to let you know that I got. They're okay, thanks for letting me know, he said. I'm just settling, and she added, I'll call you later in the evening, love you. And I love you, he said when he got home. He turned on the audio recorder. He hoped there would be nothing on it, and mostly there was just the noise of the road and the sound of her radio. About halfway through the recording, he heard how his marriage had gone to hell. He heard her phone ringing, and since it was connected to her car via Bluetooth and running through her speakers, he heard both sides of the conversation. Hi, baby, said a male voice. Hi, handsome, she replied. Handsome, Jason thought, who is this clown? I can't wait to see you again, the man said. Last week was fantastic, glad you liked it, she said with a playful laugh. Have we agreed on next week? Next week, Jason thought. Shocked. Everything is settled, said the man. Did you tell your husband? Not yet, she said. Don't worry, honey, I have everything under control. He doesn't suspect anything, does he? Asked the man. Not a bit, she said. As always, he doesn't understand anything. I hope you're right, he said. I told you, don't worry, she said. He'll believe anything I tell him. Okay, said the man. Listen, I'm almost to the airport, she said. See you at the hotel tonight. Okay, I can't wait, he said. Bye, darling, bye, she said, ending the call. Jason looked at the recorder, not believing what he had just heard. He played the recording again to make sure he wasn't taking anything out of context. Not only was she cheating on him, but she was planning something for next week, the week of their 10th anniversary, and it didn't include him. Crap, damn. He thought, how long does this last, and who is this bastard she's sleeping with? He took a beer from the refrigerator and sat down at his desk, reflecting on the past months. Was he really so blind that he didn't notice all the signs? He began to wonder what else she could be hiding. Until now, he had always respected her personal space and did not interfere with her personal belongings, but now it didn't matter. He knew her desk in the house was locked, but he also knew where she kept the key. He went into their bedroom and opened the small drawer in her jewelry box. Of course, there was the key to her desk on a ring with a couple of other keys. He took the ring and went to the bedroom they had set up as her office. He opened his desk and began looking through her files. Normally he would never do this, but now he believed that she no longer deserved any favors. After her betrayal, what he found shocked him to the core. It seemed like Karen had been lying to him throughout their entire marriage. He pulled out a folder of her bank statements and was stunned to see how much she had saved from her salary. He knew how much she contributed to their joint account and was shocked to see that she contributed well over 10% to her personal account, which now contained over $250,000. Looking through her purchases in recent months, he saw that she had purchased a very expensive men's Rolex watch along with other gifts, no doubt for her lover, since she had never given him anything so luxurious. She also bought a lot of expensive clothes online, including revealing pieces from Victoria's Secret. Of course, he didn't see any of this, but there was even more, much more. He also found medical bills from a Planned Parenthood clinic. It turned out that Karen might have gotten pregnant twice in the last 2 years, and she had had abortions both times. She paid cash from her account. He wondered if any of these children were his. He also saw that she had been regularly purchasing birth control pills for at least the last 4 years. Even worse, he found a receipt for Plan B emergency contraceptive pills based on the date on the receipt. Karen bought them earlier this week, and that's not all. Among her checks was a fairly recent one for a solid down payment on an apartment in a wealthy area of the city. Was it her love nest, he asked himself, or was it her plan to end the marriage? There were also utility bills, and new furniture. He looked at the ring of keys he had found earlier and wondered if one of them was the key to her apartment. He intended to find out. He turned on her computer to see what he could get out of it. He knew she always wrote down her passwords and found a piece of paper taped to the bottom of her keyboard with usernames and passwords written on it. He tried the first one and the computer turned on. Immediately opening her browser, he found a link to an online email program and logged into it. Sure enough, the email client opened and showed her inbox. She seemed so confident that he would never spy on her that she kept her username and password saved in the system. He began looking through her letters and was shocked by what he found. There were a lot of letters from someone named Greg Wilson. Almost all of the letters were explicit, with Greg commenting on how much he enjoyed having sex with Karen. Her answers were pretty much the same. He noticed that the letters had been going on for almost a year, about the time he first noticed the changes in her. Apparently, their meetings initially took place in hotel rooms, but then they husband and wife the next breakfast. Karen gave him her room number and promised to call him every night. "I love you," she said, kissing his cheek. "I love you too," he said. He watched her drive away. When he got to work, he called Jerry and gave him her room number. "Great," Jerry said. "Thank you. I will immediately put my people on this matter." After lunch, Karen called him saying that she was at the airport getting ready to take off. "I'll call when I check into the hotel," she said. "I would be grateful," he said. "Remember, I love you. I love you too, baby." She said, "I'll miss you. Of course you will." "You lying, __," he thought sarcastically. "I miss you too," he said. Instead, after finishing the call, he saw his father standing at the door. "Is everything okay, son?" he asked. "You look like your dog died." "I don't know, Dad," Jason said. His father entered the ice office and closed the door. "Is everything okay at home? Do you want to talk about it?" asked the father. Jason knew better than to try to hide anything from his father, so he told him everything he knew. "So far, that doesn't sound very good, son," said the father. "I would never suspect her of cheating me too, Dad," Jason said. "Listen, if there's anything me or Mom can do, let me know," the older man said. "We're here for you." Thanks, Dad," Jason said. "I appreciate it." Jason left work a couple of hours early and drove to the airport to find Karen's car. He found her in a short-term parking lot and took out an audio recorder. Looking around, he noticed that the rest of the car was clean as Karen always kept it on his way home. Karen called him. "Hey, baby," she said. "I just wanted to let you know that I got there okay. Thanks for letting me know," he said. "I'm just settling in," she added. "I'll call you later in the evening. Love you." "And I love you," he said when he got home. He turned on the audio recorder. He hoped there would be nothing on it, and mostly there was just the noise of the road and the sound of her radio. About halfway through the recording, he heard how his marriage had gone to hell. He heard her phone ringing, and since it was connected to her car via Bluetooth and running through her speakers, he heard both sides of the conversation. "Hi, baby," said a male voice. "Hi, handsome," she replied. "Handsome," Jason thought. "Who is this clown? I can't wait to see you again." The man said, "Last week was fantastic. Glad you liked it," she said with a playful laugh. "Have we agreed on next week?" "Next week," Jason thought. Shocked. "Everything is settled," said the man. "Did you tell your husband?" "Not yet," she said. "Don't worry, honey. I have everything under control. He doesn't suspect anything, does he?" asked the man. "Not a bit," she said. "As always, he doesn't understand anything. I hope you're right," he said. "I told you, don't worry," she said. "He'll believe anything I tell him." "Okay," said the man. "Listen, I'm almost to the airport," she said. "See you at the hotel tonight." "Okay, I can't wait," he said. "Bye." Darling, bye, she said, ending the call. Jason looked at the recorder, not believing what he had just heard. He played the recording again to make sure he wasn't taking anything out of context. Not only was she cheating on him, but she was planning something for next week, the week of their 10th anniversary, and it didn't include him. Crap, damn. He thought, how long does this last, and who is this bastard she's sleeping with? He took a beer from the refrigerator and sat down at his desk, reflecting on the past months. Was he really so blind that he didn't notice all the signs? He began to wonder what else she could be hiding. Until now, he had always respected her personal space and did not interfere with her personal belongings, but now it didn't matter. He knew her desk in the house was locked, but he also knew where she kept the key. He went into their bedroom and opened the small drawer in her jewelry box. Of course, there was the key to her desk on a ring with a couple of other keys. He took the ring and went to the bedroom they had set up as her office. He opened his desk and began looking through her files. Normally he would never do this, but now he believed that she no longer deserved any favors. After her betrayal, what he found shocked him to the core. It seemed like Karen had been lying to him throughout their entire marriage. He pulled out a folder of her bank statements and was stunned to see how much she had saved from her salary. He knew how much she contributed to their joint account and was shocked to see that she contributed well over 10% to her personal account, which now contained over $250,000. Looking through her purchases in recent months, he saw that she had purchased a very expensive men's Rolex watch along with other gifts, no doubt for her lover, since she had never given him anything so luxurious. She also bought a lot of expensive clothes online, including revealing pieces from Victoria's Secret. Of course, he didn't see any of this, but there was even more, much more. He also found medical bills from a Planned Parenthood clinic. It turned out that Karen might have gotten pregnant twice in the last 2 years, and she had had abortions both times. She paid cash from her account. He wondered if any of these children were his. He also saw that she had been regularly purchasing birth control pills for at least the last 4 years. Even worse, he found a receipt for Plan B emergency contraceptive pills based on the date on the receipt. Karen bought them earlier this week, and that's not all. Among her checks was a fairly recent one for a solid down payment on an apartment in a wealthy area of the city. Was it her love nest, he asked himself, or was it her plan to end the marriage? There were also utility bills and new furniture. He looked at the ring of keys he had found earlier and wondered if one of them was the key to her apartment. He intended to find out. He turned on her computer to see what he could get out of it. He knew she always wrote down her passwords and found a piece of paper taped to the bottom of her keyboard with usernames and passwords written on it. He tried the first one and the computer turned on. Immediately opening her browser, he found a link to an online email program and logged into it. Sure enough, the email client opened and showed her inbox. She seemed so confident that he would never spy on her that she kept her username and password saved in the system. He began looking through her letters and was shocked by what he found. There were a lot of letters from someone named Greg Wilson. Almost all of the letters were explicit, with Greg commenting on how much he enjoyed having sex with Karen. Her answers were pretty much the same. He noticed that the letters had been going on for almost a year, about the time he first noticed the changes in her. Apparently, their meetings initially took place in hotel rooms, but then they decided to meet in houses that she was selling. He noticed a letter dated about 6 months ago that partially answered his Question, have you solved this little problem? Greg asked. Yes, Karen replied. I had an abortion today. Too bad you didn't leave him. Greg wrote you could pass him off as Jason's baby. I couldn't do it. She replied, as far as he knows, I can't have children. He would understand that this is not as Jason thought about that time and realized that it was around the time he first caught her in a lie, __. He thought lying, cunning, cheating, __. He continued to look through their letters. At one point, Greg suggested they have sex in Karen's marital bed, but she refused. I won't do this to Jason, she said in one letter. Come on, the dumbass doesn't even know what's going on. Greg wrote back, no. She replied, I won't do this. What if you had your own place? Greg asked. You could buy a condo with the money from the commissions and your husband would never know. You may be right, she replied. I have my own account and Jason never asks about it. Let me see what's available. This was 3 months ago. The down payment check was dated just over a month ago. I bought a condo, she wrote to him. I just made a down payment and the new furniture will arrive in a week. Jason doesn't know anything. Great, Greg wrote. We must baptize every room in this place. Jason sat back, shocked by this revelation. He continued to look through the letters. So why do you stay with your husband? Greg asked. Why not leave him and move into a condo? Believe it or not, I still have feelings for him. Karen replied. He may be a boring accountant for a chain tire store, but I like him and he's nice to me. I bought the condo just so we could have a place to hang out without the risk of being seen at the hotel. Besides, you're still married. Listen, honey, say the word and I'll leave Christy in a heartbeat. Greg wrote. She's already annoying me. We'll see what happens after the conference, she replied. After the conference, what will happen? After the conference, he asked himself. Jason began typing up her letters and copying the receipts he found. When the phone rang, Karen's number appeared on the display. Hello, he said, answering the call. It's me, honey, Karen said. Are you okay? You sound a little upset. My head is pounding, he said, not wanting her to know that he understood everything. Well, I just wanted to let you know that I'm settling in for the night, she said. Take something for your headache and rest. I love you and miss you, she said. Yes, me too, he said. Bye. He ended the call, wondering if she noticed that he didn't specifically say that he loved her and missed her. The truth is that he was close to punching a hole in the wall. He decided to find out who Greg was, so he started searching on the website of the company where Karen worked. Of course, he found it. Greg Wilson, the website said, was a regional manager for the real estate company where Karen worked. In other words, she slept with her boss. He printed out the page and added it to his pile of materials. Unable to rest, he decided to check out her condo. He checked the address but wondered if she had installed a security system. He searched through her paperwork and found a series of numbers on the paper next to the word alarm. Of course, she would write it down. He thought she writes everything down. He turned off her computer and went there, grabbing a pair of latex X gloves from the garage. He didn't want to leave any trace that he was there. He easily found the complex and parked in the space allocated for Karen. Walking to the door, he put on his gloves and tried one of the keys on the ring he found in her jewelry box. Of course, the door opened and he entered. He saw the alarm system console on the wall next to the door and entered the code he found in its documents, then made sure the alarm was turned off. Turning on the lights, he looked around the condo and was impressed by Karen's choice of furniture. She always had good taste, he thought. It's a pity that it was as faithful as it was colorfully decorated. Of course, there were no photographs of him. He didn't expect that this was, after all, Her love nest her escape from there. Marriage walking into the kitchen he noticed that she even had several dishes and cutlery there was almost nothing in. The refrigerator and the pantry looked equally empty. He was somewhat surprised to see that the place was fully furnished with exquisite paintings of flowers on the walls. There was even a large flat-screen TV mounted on the wall. He walked into the master bedroom and noticed that it too was fully furnished, with long lace curtains on the windows that fell to the floor. She loved lace curtains and hung them throughout their home. Looking down, he couldn't help but notice that they were hanging directly above the electric baseboard heater. He shook his head, wondering if Karen had thought about the possible fire hazard. Opening the dresser drawers, he found underwear he had never seen before, along with men's underwear that he suspected belonged to Greg. He also found an assortment of sex toys. He took out his phone and took photos. He also found a card addressed to Karen in her bedside table. Opening it, he saw that it was from Greg. Just wanted to say thank you for the watch. The card said, "I can't wait for the housewarming." It was signed, "Love, Greg." He felt like he wanted to snatch Greg's hand and beat his cheating wife with it. He found more clothes, both men's and women's, on the hangers in the dressing room. In the master bathroom, he couldn't help but notice 2 toothbrushes above the sink and his and her towels on the counter next to the shower. He took out his phone and took more photos. The second bedroom contained only a small table and chair. There was a network cable on the table, suggesting she was using it for her laptop. There were several letters addressed to her on the table. All of them were from public utilities. He took photographs of them, making sure that Karen's name and address were clearly visible in the photographs. The windows here were also covered with long lace curtains that hung to the floor like the master bedroom. They too hung directly in front of the electric baseboard heater. As he looked around, he noticed several other things that could be potential fire or safety hazards. For example, there were no smoke alarms in the bedrooms, and the one in the kitchen looked very old. He wondered if there was even a battery in it. Once he was sure everything was the same as when he entered, he turned off all the lights, activated the security system, and left, making sure the door was locked. He returned to his car and headed home, considering his options. Divorce was the obvious solution in his mind. Even if she gets rid of the apartment and breaks off relations with her lover, he will no longer be able to trust her. He also knew that men often got the worst of it financially. He knew from her financial records that she earned significantly more than him, and hoped that this would be enough to avoid child support. He decided to wait until he spoke with a lawyer before taking any action. He also hoped that the fact that she had already bought the apartment in her name meant that he would not have to give her the house or sell it and split the proceeds. They did not have children, so issues of alimony and custody did not arise, but he wanted the 2 traitors to pay for what they did. Violence was ruled out, as he did not want to go to prison. Returning home, he looked in the phone book and found an entry for Gregory Wilson. He hoped it was the right Greg Wilson and dialed the number. The Wilson residence said a female voice. "Is this Mrs. S. Wilson?" he asked. "Yes, that's her." The woman replied, "Who am I talking to?" "My name is Jason Chandler. Is your husband a regional manager for Acme Real Estate?" Jason asked. "Yes, he is," said the woman, "but he's away at a conference this weekend and won't be back next week as he's visiting other offices. You will need to call the regional office and leave a message there." "Actually, Mrs. Wilson, I'd like to talk to you," Jason said. "About she?" asked. "Yes, ma'am." Jason said, "I hate to say it, but my wife is having an affair with Your husband, are you sure about this? She asked. Yeah, I'm sure, Jason said, and I can prove it. Do you have irrefutable evidence? She asked. I can even show you where they meet if you want, Jason said. He heard her sigh over the phone. Is tomorrow suitable? She asked. Of course. Jason said. What time is convenient for you? Is a meeting at 1 p.m. okay? She asked. He gave her the address and directions to Karen's apartment. See you there, Jason said, ending the call. Smiling, he went to his desk and began making a to-do list. The first thing he decided was to change the locks on the doors. He could get through this in time to meet Greg's wife at Karen's apartment. He thought about getting drunk that night, but pushed the thought away. Instead, he took a slice of cold pizza and chewed on it, considering all his options. After finishing his pizza, he walked up the stairs to bed. He got up early the next day and headed to the local hardware store where he bought everything he needed to change the locks on his doors. He also made another key to the apartment. By noon, he had finished changing all the locks. He took a shower and, taking the audio recorder and all the printed letters from Karen's account, went to her apartment to meet Greg's wife. He parked in Karen's spot and noticed an attractive woman with dark hair and a Toyota Corolla nearby. He walked up to the car and knocked on the window. She rolled down the window and looked at him. Are you Christy Wilson? He asked. She nodded her head. It's me. She said. You must be Jason Chandler, the same one, he replied, opening the door. Come on, I'll show you their love nest, but first, put on these, he added, handing her a pair of latex gloves. I don't want to leave fingerprints. Good idea, she said. They walked to her door and Jason used the key he made to open it. He was glad to see that the key worked. They turned off the security alarm and went inside. Jason showed her around the bedroom, opening the drawers and closets so she could see Greg's clothes. Oh my God, she said, I've been looking for some of these things for the last couple of weeks. I wondered where his clothes went. Has your husband been wearing a Rolex lately? Jason asked. She nodded yes, she replied. He said it was a gift from management. Jason shook his head and took the card out of Karen's nightstand. He opened it and showed it to her. She read the note and cried. Is this his handwriting? Jason asked. Yes, she answered, sobbing. There's more to come, he said, pulling out emails and an audio recording. She read the letters and tears flowed down her cheeks. He then turned on the audio from Friday. I'm sorry about all this, he said, hugging her. He himself felt the urge to cry, but restrained himself. It's not your fault, she said. I had suspected something like this for some time, but I had no proof. After while she pulled herself together and looked at him. What are you going to do? She asked. I'm going to divorce her, he replied, and you all kick that little rat out of the house as soon as I see him, she said. Suddenly she stopped crying and looked at him. I have an idea, she said. Which? He asked. They want to live here together. Why don't we help them? She asked. What do you mean? He asked. I mean, why don't we pack up their things and bring them here? She answered. Jason thought for a moment and smiled at her. I like this idea, he said, but we have to hurry. They'll be back in a day or two. She shook her head. Greg said he would be gone for a week after the conference. She said, I bet she'll find an excuse to be away too. Jason suddenly remembered the recorded conversation. Karen specifically asked him if everything was ready for the next week, but didn't indicate what they had planned. Damn, he said, I think you're right. Anyway, I want to get her things out of my house as soon as possible. I agree, she said. Meet me here in 3 hours. Fits, he said. I'll just throw her things in the trash bags, so I think I can do that and be back in 3 hours. See you later, she said, standing up. Jason looked at her carefully. She was shorter than Karen, with a pretty girl next door. Looked at added to the charm of her. Figure he thought Greg was a complete idiot for cheating on this woman. They left the condo and returned about 3 hours later, their cars filled with bags of their spouse's belongings. They carried the bag into the condo and threw them into the nearly empty second bedroom, not caring what might break. They knew the traitors would have to spend hours sorting it all out. I don't know about you, but I haven't been particularly careful with his things, she said. He laughed. Me too, Jason said. They laughed and slapped each other's fingers. He looked at her. I don't know about you, but I'm hungry, he said. Me too, she replied. I wouldn't mind a juicy hamburger, a big thick cheeseburger. Sounds good to me too, he said. I know a place, come with me at my expense, lead. She said. He took her to a bar that he and Ron liked to frequent, and she followed him. After they parked, Christy looked up at the building bar. She asked, "Trust me," he said, "they make the best burgers here. You'll like it, okay?" She replied, "I hope you're not planning on getting me drunk and taking advantage of me." He laughed. "As tempting as it may sound, I wouldn't do it with you," he said. "Damn," she said, laughing. They went inside and ordered a beer and a burger and fries. As they ate, they swapped stories about their failed marriages. Her story was somewhat similar to his. They met in college and got married soon after. Only she wanted children and he didn't. He started working at Acme Real Estate and she took a job in the accounts receivable department of a home improvement company. "Are you an accountant?" he asked. She shook her head. "No, I haven't gotten to that level, but I hope to someday," she replied. He told her about his background and work. "We're always looking for good people," he said. "Maybe if you send me your resume, we can help each other." "I might do that, Mr. P. Chandler," she said, taking a bite of her burger. At that moment, his phone rang. He saw that Karen was calling and answered. "Hi," he said in a neutral tone. "Hi, honey." Karen said. He realized that she had been drinking. "What are you doing?" "Oh, just sitting at the bar eating a burger," he replied. "What are you doing?" "Guess what?" she asked. "I won the best salesperson award," she said without waiting for his answer. "I'm happy for you," he said. "Yes, and they want me to stay here in Vegas next week to work with their agents," she said. Of course, he already knew that this was a lie. "Isn't this wonderful? They say that I may be transferred to management." No doubt on his back, he thought to himself. "This is wonderful," he said. "What about our anniversary? It's already Wednesday." "I know," she said, "and I'm so sorry. Maybe we'll celebrate next week." "Don't worry," he said. "I know your job is important to you, and I wouldn't want you to miss out on a big deal." "What's that supposed to mean?" she asked. "Nothing," he replied. "It's just that you only celebrate 10 years of marriage once, but I understand how much your work means to you. Do not worry about it." "Well, yes, my job is important to me, but I thought you would be happy for me," she said. "I'm very glad," he told her. "Work with your agents. Do not worry about me. I love you," she said. "Okay," he told her. Me too." Bye. With these words, he ended the call and looked at Christy. "That's it," he told her. She shook her head. "She really chooses Greg over your anniversary," Christy said, placing her hand on his. He almost cried. Here was a woman he barely knew who cared more about him than his own wife. "What a __. I'm sorry, thank you," he said. Trying to smile, he took out Jerry's card and called his personal number. "Jerry," he said when the older man answered. "This is Jason Chandler. I just talked to Karen, and she told me she's staying in Vegas next week, and I guess you don't believe her?" Jerry asked. "Not for a minute," Jason said. "Well, I was just working on your report, but I might as well have my guys keep an eye on them and see what they do." He said. "We can start with this. I heard that the conference ended a couple of hours ago, and now they have completely turned their attention to the party. Most Return home tomorrow by the way your wife and her lover spent the night together yesterday. I have a video that I think you might find interesting. I can email it to you if you want. Everything will be in my report. That would be great. Jerry Jason said thank you. He ended the call and looked at Christy. Well, tomorrow we'll find out what's really going on, he said. These two lovebirds spent the night together. My detective will email me the video. Do you want to watch it with me? Not really, she said, but I feel like I should. He nodded, understanding. Well, Lee can go to my house, he said, standing up. After Jason paid for the food, they left the bar and went to his house. By the time they settled into his office, the video was already in his email. Would you like something to drink before we watch this, he asked. Of course, she replied. Coca-Cola, if you have it. One Coca-Cola will be ready, he said, heading to the kitchen. He returned with 2 cold Cokes and handed one to her. He turned on the video and they watched Karen and Greg undress each other and have various types of sex. Chris and Jason held back tears as they watched their spouses have each other. Even more damaging were the conversations after sex. What do you think our spouses are doing now, asked Karen. Well, if I know Chris, she's probably watching one of her boring movies, Greg replied, or maybe reading one of his stupid books. Yes, I know what you mean, she said. I imagine Jason is probably playing with one of his stupid spreadsheets or looking at stock reports. Greg laughed. You'd think he was saving the world or something. God, his dad's company sells tires, for God's sake. What could be so important about this? So have you figured out what you're going to say to the idiot after the reward ceremony tomorrow? Greg asked. Yes, she replied. I'll just tell him that I've been asked to stay in Vegas for a week to supervise the local reps. He will believe it. Damn it, he'll believe anything I tell him. I could say the moon is made of green cheese and he would believe it, and by the time he figures it out, we'll be on the beach in Hawaii, he said. I can't wait to see you in that new sling bikini you bought. Christy was furious. Hawaii, she screamed. Is this damn bastard going to take some __ to Hawaii? I will tear away his dignity. She looked at Jason. I'm sorry I called your wife a __ Don't apologize, he said. I would call her the same. They turned back to the video. So Greg continued, what about your anniversary? Are you just going to ignore her? Hawaii seems like a lot more fun to me than a night out at a steakhouse, she said. I promise to make it up to him. Maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. Greg looked at her. You're cold, you know, he said. She shrugged. This is just our 10th anniversary, she said. It will still be. Who cares? I need your __ in me right now. With that, they started having sex again and Jason stopped the video. I've seen enough, Jason said. And you? Christy nodded, tears streaming down her cheeks. More than enough, she said. I'll make an appointment on Monday to see a divorce lawyer, he said. Do you want to come with me? You do not mind, she asked quietly. Not at all, he answered her. Christy burst into tears. Jason hugged her and let her cry on his shoulder. He himself wanted to cry, but he decided to hold back. He consoled her as best he could, struggling with his emotions. Do you mind if I stay here with you tonight? She asked. No sex, I just want to be he. Of course you can stay, he said. Stay at least a week if you want. Thank you, she replied. I can't believe I gave this idiot so many years. All this time I believed his nonsense. I totally understand, Jason said. He walked her upstairs to the bedroom and found an old t-shirt that looked long enough for her to wear for the night. She took the t-shirt and went to the bathroom to change. He changed into his pajamas while he waited for her to return and went to bed. She came out of the bathroom wearing a long t-shirt and He almost gasped when he saw her. He always thought Karen had beautiful legs, but Christy's legs were the most beautiful ones he had ever seen. She smiled as she crawled under the covers. "What's happened?" she asked. "Never seen a woman's legs. I've never seen one's as beautiful as yours," Jason replied. "Flattery will help you, sir," she joked. He hugged her and held her close, inhaling her scent. She placed her hand on his chest and pressed herself against him. "Do you know that you are the only woman, other than my wife, that I have been in bed with in the last 10 years, he asked. "And you're the only man I've been with besides my husband," she replied. They looked into each other's eyes for what seemed like an eternity. Chris then leaned over and kissed Jason tenderly on the lips. He responded by kissing her with a passion he never knew he had. He realized what could happen and retreated. He didn't want to do to Karen what she did to him. Apparently, Christy felt the same way and laid her head on his shoulder without saying a word. They fell asleep like that and woke up the next morning cuddled together. Jason's hand